Hello. Sound ahan niki ako. Onito, শুনিছানে?
স্যার শুনিছো।
তুমি লিংক বিলাক শেয়াৰ কৰিছানে?
নাই স্যার, আমি এতিয়াও ৰিচাৰ্চ পাৰ্চন কাৰণে ৰখি আছো।
নাই শেয়াৰ কৰি দিয়া, তেওঁলোকে জইন কৰিব অট'মেটিকেলি, তুমি শেয়াৰ কৰি দিয়া।
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
3টা বাজি গ'ল আৰু।
হয় স্যার।
Professor Minmay Sharma, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
স্যার মই যোগেশ কলিতা স্যাৰৰ হেৰিটো চাব পাৰিম নেকি এবাৰ? টেষ্ট কৰি চাব পাৰিম নেকি প্ৰেজেন্টেশন?
পাৰিবা।
হয়, মই এবাৰ চাইছো।
Dr. H.K. Nath, Registrar, Guwahati University, you are most welcome.
সমাচাৰ মোৰ আৱাজ শুনিছেনে বাৰু?
শুনিছো।
হয়।
Dr. H.K. Nath sir, মোৰ কথা শুনিছে নহয়?
হেল্ল'।
শুনিছে নহয়?
শুনি আছো।
Thank you. আমাৰ ৰিচাৰ্চ পাৰ্চন আহিছে গোটেই কেইজনে।
ঠিক আছে।
হয়।
প্ৰেজেন্টেশনটো দিম।
বলেন ভূয়া।
Good afternoon, Sharma.
Good afternoon. হয়।
ইয়াতটো ৱাইফাই লগাই দিয়া।
বলিন ভূঞা স্যার, মই জ্যোতিস্মিতা স্যার।
জ্যোতিস্মিতা আছা ন?
হয় স্যার।
ঠিক আছে।
স্যার প্ৰেজেন্টেশনটো মানে শেয়াৰ কৰিম আজি মই স্যাৰ।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
হয়।
আৰু কি লাগে তোমাক? মিনিমাইজ কৰি হোৱাটছএপটো ল'লোহেঁতেন। কৰিবলৈ চাইডত টানাচোন। বেলেগ এটা কাগজ যে আছে ন ডাঙৰ চাই এইটো চাৰ্ট তোমাৰ ইয়াত চালে নহ'ব মিনিমাইজ কৰাটো আনিলে আহি যায় এটা জ্ঞান দিব কৈছে নহয় প্ৰব্লেম নাই
এমিলি এই জ্যোতিস্মিতা জইন কৰিছে নে নগাঁও কলেজৰ পৰা
হয় স্যাৰ জয়েন কৰিছো ফাইন জয়েন কৰিছো মই
মানে জ্যোতিস্মিতাই মোৰ স্লাইড কেইখন দেখুৱাই থাকিব মই মানে শব্দটো দি থাকিম
স্যার বলতে স্যার
নমস্কাৰ
নমস্কাৰ স্যার নমস্কাৰ
আমাৰ প্ৰফেসৰ শৰ্মা জইন কৰিছে নেকি তেজপুৰ
কৰিছে
নমস্কাৰ আপোনাক কেইবাটাও নমস্কাৰ
আৰু আমাৰ ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰাৰ মহোদয় জইন কৰিছে ডক্টৰ এইচ কে নাথ
ঠিক আছে ডক্টৰ নাথ
হয়
নমস্কাৰ দেই আপুনি
একেবাৰে আপোনাক মোৰ ঘৰৰ ওচৰতে নমস্কাৰ দিছো আৰু সুৰেন্দ্ৰ কলেজ নমস্কাৰটো সুৰেন্দ্ৰ কলেজে ঘূৰি আহিছেগে
তাকেতো
মেন মই এখন
প্ৰফেসৰ বিনয় শৰ্মাৰ মুখখন এবাৰ দেখিলে মনটো ভাল লাগিল
সৰবটো ঠিকে দেখি আছো বাৰু
নমস্কাৰ আপুনি
দাদা দেখা দিছো আৰু নমস্কাৰ
নমস্কাৰ
গুড আফটাৰনুন
বহুত দিনৰ মূৰত মই মানে একে সময়তে আনৈ কলেজৰ
ঠিকে দেখি আছে কি কৈছে মই শুনা নাই বহুত মানে কথা কৈ আছে ন
আনৈ কলেজৰ লগত বোলো আজি একে সময়তে মিটিং এখন পৰি গ'ল সেইকাৰণে সেইখনতো অকমান মাজে মাজে সোমাই আছো আজি প্ৰিন্সিপাল ডক্টৰ শৰ্মা বৰ উজ্জ্বল হৈ আছে একদম কিবা বেলেগ ষ্টুডিঅ' বনাইছে যেন পাইছো
স্যার শুনিছেনে
শুনিছো
হয়তো এইটো পোস্ট কোভিড এফেক্ট চাগে
এফেক্ট বৰ ব্ৰাইট একদম প্ৰফেসৰ শৰ্মাকো মই বৰ সুন্দৰ স্বাস্থ্যৰে দেখা পাইছো কিতাপৰ বোজা আগতকৈ বাঢ়িছে পিছফালে
না তেওঁ এতিয়া গোটেই একাডেমিকৰ দিন হৈ আছে যে ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিত আৰু ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰাৰ মহোদয় কিন্তু অত্যন্ত ব্যস্ততাৰ মাজত তেওঁ আহিছে আমি তেখেতক কৃতজ্ঞতা জনাম সময়ত কিন্তু কালি মিটিং কৰিছে আজিও এখন মিটিং আছে গোটেই প্ৰিন্সিপাল বিলাকৰ লগত ইমান ব্যস্ততাৰ মাজত তেখেতে আমাৰ অনুৰোধ ৰাখিছে যে মই ব্যক্তিগতভাৱে তেখেতক মই আন্তৰিক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা
বৰ মানে চিম্বল এটা দি থৈ দিছে গতিকে বেছি ডিষ্টাৰ্ব নকৰিব
হয়
আমাক আৰম্ভ কৰিব পাৰিছে কৰি দিয়ক
অকমান আপোনাৰ স্লাইড খিনি প্ৰেজেন্ট কৰিম বুলি কৈছিলে ডক্টৰ দাসে তেওঁ এবাৰ চাম বুলি কৈছিল
স্যাৰ এবাৰ মই চাই দি লৈছো আপুনি অকন চাব স্যাৰ
এখন চাই দিয়া এখন
হয় স্যাৰ
ওলোৱা নাই কিন্তু
নাই স্যাৰ কোনোবা এজনে প্ৰেজেন্ট কৰি আছে ত্ৰিদীপ বৰুৱা নামৰ সেইকাৰণে ওলোৱা নাই কোনোবা ত্ৰিদীপ বৰুৱাই প্ৰেজেন্ট কৰি আছে স্যাৰ
আমি প্ৰেজেন্ট নকৰিবা কোনে কৰিছে
কোনোবা ত্ৰিদীপ বৰুৱা হয় ওকে স্যাৰ মই চাইছো দেখিছে নহয়
মানে বেনাৰখনেই আছে প্ৰথম হয়তো
নাই এখনেই দিছো স্যাৰ মই
এখন হেৰি কৰি দেখুৱাচোন তুমি এখন জাষ্ট পাছ মই যদি কওঁ যে নেক্সট বুলি গৈছে নাই মোৰ
ঠিকে আছে স্যাৰ
হা হা
ঠিকে আছে ছাৰ।
তুমি মাজত এখন থাকি গ'ল নেকি চোৱা।
ছাৰ আপুনি নাই এইখনৰ পৰা মই কৈছোঁ ছাৰ আপুনি নেক্সটখন দেখাম এতিয়া ছাৰ মই। ঠিকে আছে ছাৰ।
নাই
ছাৰ আহিছেনে এইবাৰ?
নাই অহা।
আহ,
তাৰ পিছলৈ যোৱা। আহিছে এতিয়া আহিছে।
অ'কে হ'ব হয়
হৈ যাব।
হয় হ'ব ছাৰ।
থেংক ইউ।
ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞা। হেল্ল', ডক্টৰ ভূঞা, বলিন ভূঞা, প্ৰিন্সিপাল নগাঁও গাৰ্লছ কলেজ।
শৰ্মা কওক।
হয় হয়, ৰঞ্জিত বৰুৱা চাগে আমাৰ মাজত আছে নহয় জানো?
হয়
আছে
আছো ছাৰ।
আছে আছে আছে।
হয়
নমস্কাৰ
বৰুৱা,
ডক্টৰ।
হয় বৰুৱা,
নমস্কাৰ।
ৰঞ্জিত
হয়
বৰুৱা আপোনাক
হয় ছাৰ।
হয় আন্তৰিক অভিনন্দন জনাইছো দেই।
হয় ছাৰ।
হয় থেংক ইউ। আমাৰ আইকিউএচি কৰ্ডিনেটৰ আছে, জইন কৰিছে চাগে, ডক্টৰ ৰিপুমা বুজৰ বৰুৱা।
হয় ছাৰ আছো ছাৰ।
হয় হয় হয়, ঠিক আছে অ'কে। আমি
তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ কানেকশ্যনত আছে, চিন্তা কৰিব নালাগে শৰ্মা।
ঠিক আছে, তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি আৰম্ভ কৰিব পৰা হৈছো, কাৰণ আমাৰ টাইমো হ'ল আৰু
হয়
পাৰ্টিচিপেণ্ট 100 ক্ৰছ হৈছে ইতিমধ্যে। বৰুৱা আপুনি আৰম্ভ কৰিব পাৰে। হয়
ঠিক আছে বাৰু ছাৰ। হয়। Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all of you. We, Surendascollege, Hajo, and Nogao Girls College, Nogao, we are going to organize a national webinar on COVID-19 pandemic and higher educational institutions, challenges, opportunities, and way forward. For last couple of years, Hajo, Surendascollege, Hajo, and Nogao Girls College, we are collaborating in different fields like faculty exchange, student exchange, and other academic matters also. And as a part of our joint venture, today we are organizing this webinar. We are fortunate to have 3 academic stalwarts from our region in this webinar as resource person. We have Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath sir, Registrar, Guwahati University, as the inaugurator of the seminar. We have Professor Jogan Kolita sir and of Guwahati University, and Dr. Minmoy Kumar Sharma sir of Tezpur University as our honorable resource persons. So today, this seminar is very important for all of us because of the spread of COVID-19 for last 1.5 years, and how we, the higher educational institutions, are taking the challenge, how we are reacting, responding to the challenge. All these things are very important for all of us. And we expect our resource persons lecture will certainly benefit us. It will give new dimensions to our ideas and knowledge and the ways to respond and move forward in future. Before going to the technical sessions, I will request Principal Surendascollege Hajo, Dr. Hiranya Kumar Sharma sir, to say a few words. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
থেংক ইউ ৰঞ্জিত বৰুৱা ডাঙৰীয়া। আজিৰ এই ৱেবিনাৰত উপস্থিত থকা, অনলাইন ৱেবিনাৰত উপস্থিত থকা আমাৰ গুৱাহাটী বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ সন্মানীয় ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰাৰ ডক্টৰ হেমন্ত কুমাৰ নাথ ডাঙৰীয়া, গুৱাহাটী বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ প্ৰাণী বিজ্ঞান বিভাগৰ মুৰব্বী অধ্যাপক ডক্টৰ যোগেন চন্দ্ৰ কলিতা ছাৰ, তেজপুৰ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিৰ ডিন অফ একাডেমিক প্ৰফেসৰ মিন্ময় কুমাৰ শৰ্মা, আমাৰ মাজত থকা নগাঁও গাৰ্লছ কলেজৰ সন্মানীয় অধ্যক্ষ ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞা ডাঙৰীয়া, হাজো সুৰেন্দ্ৰ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ আইকিউএচি কোঅৰ্ডিনেটৰ উপাধ্যক্ষ মহোদয় তথা আমাৰ এই দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ মোৰ অতি শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ সন্মানীয় অধ্যাপক অধ্যাপিকাসকল, আপোনালোক আটাইকে আজিৰ এই অনলাইন ৱেবিনাৰৰ কাৰণে আমি আন্তৰিক অভিনন্দন জনাইছোঁ। ইতিমধ্যে ৰঞ্জিত বৰুৱা ডাঙৰীয়াই ইতিমধ্যে আমাৰ দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ কিছুমান কলাবৃত্তিৰ কথা আপোনালোকৰ আগত জ্ঞাত কৰিছে। আমি আজি কিছুদিনৰ আগৰ পৰাই এনেকুৱা দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ IQAC-য়ে ফেকাল্টি এক্সচেঞ্জে হওক, আইডিয়া এক্সচেঞ্জে হওক, ষ্টুডেণ্ট এক্সচেঞ্জ, এনেকুৱা বিভিন্ন আমি প্ৰগ্ৰাম কৰি আহিছোঁ। আৰু এই ক'ভিডৰ সময়ত আমি যিহেতু বৰ্তমান আমি স্থবিৰ হৈ গ'লোঁ, গতিকে এই ক'ভিডৰ পিৰিয়ডতো আমি আমাৰ ডিজিটেল প্লেটফৰ্মত আমি কি ধৰণে কেনেকৈ আগবাঢ়িব পাৰোঁ, তাৰ কেনেকুৱা চেলেঞ্জ, অপৰচুনিটি আৰু ৱে আউটছ, এইবিলাক আলোচনা কৰাৰ কাৰণে আমি দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ে আজিৰ এই অনুষ্ঠানটো আয়োজন কৰিছোঁ। আৰু এই অনুষ্ঠানত আমাৰ অনুৰোধ ৰক্ষা কৰি যি তিনিজন আজি ৰিচোৰ্চ পাৰ্চন আমাৰ মাজত উপস্থিত আছে, তেওঁলোক আটাইলে আমাৰ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ তৰফৰ পৰাই আমি তেওঁলোকক আন্তৰিক অভিনন্দন জনাইছোঁ, আমাক ধন্যবাদ তথা কৃতজ্ঞতাও জনাইছোঁ। আশা ৰাখিছোঁ আজিৰ এই তিনিজন বিশেষজ্ঞ ব্যক্তিৰ বক্তব্যৰ পৰাই আমি আটাইয়ে লাভান্বিত হ'ম। আৰু যদিও ক'ভিড পেণ্ডেমিকত আমাৰ অফলাইন মোড স্থবিৰ হৈ গৈছে, তথাপিতো আমাৰ অনলাইন মোডত আমাৰ আইডিয়াই হওক, একাডেমিক কথাই হওক, বা কি অন্যান্য প্ৰশাসনীয় হওক, শৈক্ষিক কথা কিন্তু পূৰ্ণগতিত গোটেই বিশ্বব্যাপী চলি আছে। গতিকে আজিও আমি এই তিনিওজন ৰিচোৰ্চ পাৰ্চনৰ পৰা আমি এই বিষয়ত আৰু নতুন নতুন আইডিয়া এক্সচেঞ্জ আমি কৰিব পাৰিম। আৰু শেষত আটাইলৈ পুনৰবাৰ অভিনন্দন জনাই মই মোৰ চমু ভাষণ ইয়াতে সামৰিছোঁ। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. Bolin Kumar Bhuya, Principal, Nogao Girls College, to say a few words.
Thank you, Professor Ranjit Borua. Good afternoon, everybody. The IQAC of Nogao Girls College and the IQAC of Surendascollege, Haju, has jointly organized this webinar on a most relevant topic, COVID-19 pandemic and higher educational institutions, challenges, opportunities, and the way forward. To grace the occasion, as inaugurator, Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath, respected Registrar of Guwahati University, will join us here. As an organizer, I have the privilege to welcome Dr. Nath to the webinar and would like to thank for his acceptance to come over here amidst his busy schedule. We are very fortunate enough of having here Professor Jugen Chandra Kolita, Professor and Head of the Department of Zoology, Guwahati University, and Professor Minmoy Kumar Sharma, Dean Academic Affairs, Tezpur University, as respected speakers of this webinar. Welcome both the speakers and would like to thank them for their presence in the webinar. With their resourceful talk, I hope today's seminar will be a fruitful one for the participants. I would like to thank Dr. Hiranya Sharma, Principal, Surendascollege, the IQAC coordinators of Surendascollege, Haju, IQAC coordinators of Nogao Girls College for initiating to organize this webinar, and I welcome all the participants of today's seminar, and I hope the seminar would be a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Professor Ranjit Borua,
Sir.
মই এটা কথা ক'ব পাহৰি গ'লো। আচলতে আমাৰ যদিও আমি দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ IQACৰ পৰা এইখন ৱেবিনাৰ আমি আয়োজন কৰিছোঁ, আমাৰ মাজত কিন্তু অসমৰ আগশাৰীৰ কেইবাখনো মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ পৰা অধ্যাপক অধ্যাপিকা জইন কৰিছে। হয়, মই এইখিনি কথা ক'ব আৰম্ভণিতে পাহৰি গৈছিলোঁ। গতিকে মই এই সুযোগতে আমাৰ আজিৰ এই ৱেবিনাৰত মই জনাত আৰু অসমৰ কেইবাখনো মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ আগশাৰীৰ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ কেইবাজনো অধ্যাপক অধ্যাপিকা জইন কৰিছে, ইয়াত আমাৰ লগত সংযোগ হৈছে। মই আটাইলৈ আমাৰ দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ তৰফৰ পৰাই তেওঁলোকক অভিনন্দন জনাইছোঁ আমাৰ প্ৰতি সঁহাৰি জনোৱাৰ বাবে আৰু আমি আশা ৰাখিছোঁ তেখেতসকলৰ সহায় সহযোগিতাত আজিৰ আমাৰ এই ৱেবিনাৰখন খুব সুকলমে পাৰ হৈ যাব ধন্যবাদ
আৰু মোৰ ফালৰ পৰাও মই শুভেচ্ছা জনাইছোঁ আমাৰ অসমৰ বিভিন্ন কলেজৰ পৰা জইন কৰিছে বুলি মই খবৰটো আমি এইফালৰ পৰা নাপাওঁ হিৰেন্দ্ৰ শৰ্মাৰ ফালৰ পৰা পাইছে গতিকে মই সকলোকে শুভেচ্ছা জনাইছোঁ আৰু আমাৰ আজিৰ এই ৱেবিনাৰত জইন কৰাৰ কাৰণে সকলোকে ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ
Sir, at the beginning, I will request all the participants to off their videos because some videos are coming in the screen which are not very presentable. So I will request all the participants to off their videos. We are having Dr. Hemanto Kumar Nath sir, Honorable Registrar of Guwahati University, with us as the inaugurator of this seminar. He left a very good career on medical and engineering and opted for general education because of his interest in academic affairs. He completed his PhD from Guwahati University and then he became a faculty member of Sibsagar College, Sibsagar, and he served there for several years. He conducted and organized many seminars and conferences. He has many books and research articles to his credit. In 2014, he joined Guwahati University as Secretary of University Classes, and since 2019, he has been serving as the Registrar of this prestigious university. Nath sir is well known for his leadership ability and for his capacity to lead from the front and to fight against all odds. And under his able and dynamic leadership, Guwahati University is moving towards prosperity more and more. So we welcome Nath sir, and I request Nath sir to deliver his inaugural speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. মই সকলোকে মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা আজিৰ ৱেবিনাৰখনলৈ স্বাগতম জনাইছো This webinar on COVID-19 pandemic and higher education institutions, challenges, opportunities, and way forward, organized by Surendascollege and Nagaon Girls College. So I appreciate their initiative, especially to the IPSC coordinators of both these colleges and the principals, Dr. Hirendra Kumar Sharma and Dr. Balin Kumar Bhuya. I extend my regards, due regards to Professor Jugen Chandra Kolita, who is also a very fluent speaker, perhaps one of the best persons to speak on occasions like this, and Professor Minmoy Kumar Sharma, Dean Academic Affairs, Tezpur University, Tezpur. I also extend my regards to all the participants, including the faculty members and principals of different colleges. Now, I am very thankful for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words in the form of an inaugural lecture as the inaugurator. Not simply because I am going to inaugurate this webinar, but because I can share certain feelings very briefly about on the basis of ground reality that we have faced in the university and we have observed elsewhere. Since all people are from Assam, I think I'll switch to Assamese language in the remaining part of my lecture. গতিকে সকলোকে মই পুনৰ মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰি মোৰ ক'বলগীয়া দুই এষাৰ কথা কৈ আজিৰ ৱেবিনাৰখন ইনগ্ৰেট কৰিবলৈ গৈছো প্ৰথম কথা হ'ল যে আমি প্ৰেক্টিকেল ফিল্ডত কাম কৰা মানুহ হিচাপে এজ একাডেমিক এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেটৰ কিছু বস্তু লক্ষ্য কৰিছো যিখিনি আমাৰ কাৰণে অতি দুৰ্ভাগ্যজনক বুলি মই ক'ব খুজিছোঁ যে আজি আমি যিখিনি কথা পাতিব খুজিছোঁ চেলেঞ্জেছ অপৰচুনিটিজ এণ্ড ৱে ফৰৱাৰ্ড, এইখিনি COVID-19 পেণ্ডেমিকৰ কাৰণে আমাক ভাবিবলৈ বাধ্য কৰাইছে আৰু ভাবিবলৈ বাধ্য কৰাৰ ইয়াৰ এটা সাটল বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ডো আছে। ঠিক দেখি থকা বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ডটোৰ কথা মই কোৱা নাই যে আজি হঠাৎ আমাৰ স্কুল কলেজবিলাক ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিবিলাক বন্ধ হৈ গ'ল, আমাৰ ইফালৰ পৰা সিফালে যোৱা অৱস্থা নোহোৱা হ'ল, ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল আহিব নোৱাৰা হ'ল, শিক্ষকসকল আহিব নোৱাৰা হ'ল, এইখিনিৰ কাৰণে বন্ধ হৈছে। ঠিক এইটো চিপাহী বিদ্ৰোহৰ যিটো ইমিডিয়েট কাৰণ আছিল তেনেকুৱা কাৰণ হ'ল ক'ভিড পেণ্ডেমিক। কিন্তু আমি এটা কথা চিন্তা কৰিব লাগিব যে আমাৰ সমস্যাসমূহ আমি আজি সন্মুখীন হৈছোঁ, তাৰ ভিতৰত কিছু বেলেগ ধৰণৰ কথা আছে যিখিনি কথা হয়তো আমি বহুত সময়ত নাজানো। গতিকে মই অকণমান আগৰ পৰা আনিব খুজিছোঁ, বেছি দীঘলীয়া নকৰোঁ,
মই
আহিব খুজিছোঁ।
পঠোৱাৰ কাৰণে ময়ো মেণ্টেলি এটা প্ৰিপাৰেশ্যন লৈছোঁ তোমালোকৰ, যদিও আমাৰ নাম নাই, খালি তোমালোকে হয়তো কালি কিবা কামত কলেজত আহিব লগা হ'ব পাৰে।
ঠিক মই আকৌ ৰিজিউম কৰিব লৈছোঁ যে আমাৰ আজিৰ যিখিনি সমস্যা হৈছে এইখিনি সমস্যা COVID-19 পেণ্ডেমিকৰ কাৰণে হোৱা বুলি মই ঠিক নাভাবোঁ। ইয়াৰ এটা দীঘলীয়া বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ড আছে। আমি যদি ভালকৈ চাওঁ যে ভাৰতৰ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থা ঋগ্বেদৰ সময়ৰ পৰাই আৰম্ভ হৈছিল, পৰ্যায়ক্ৰমে আহি আছিল। So through different twists and turns, through different developments, through different conflicts, we are now where we are. কিন্তু এইখিনি সময়ত এটা বস্তু দেখিব লাগিব যে 1991ৰ আগৰ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থা আৰু 1991ৰ পিছৰ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থা এটা বৃহৎ পাৰ্থক্য আছে। 1991ত আমি জানো নিউ ইকনমিক পলিচি আহিছিল মনমোহন সিঙৰ নেতৃত্বত, আৰু সেইখিনি সময়ত সেই পলিচিটো আহিবলৈ ভাৰত চৰকাৰ গ্ৰহণ কৰিবলৈ the government of India was bound to accept this policy. ইকনমিটো এনেকুৱা ফিস্কেল ডেফিচিট হৈছিল, আমাৰ ইকনমিত এনেকুৱা ফৰেন এক্সচেঞ্জ ৰিজাৰ্ভ কমি গৈছিল, যিটো কাৰণে তেওঁ বাহিৰৰ কোম্পানীবোৰ আনিবলৈ আমি বাধ্য হৈছিলোঁ। এই কোম্পানীবিলাক বা এই কথাখিনিৰ লগত আমাৰ আজিৰ কথাখিনিৰ কিছু সংগতি আছে। এটা খুব ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কথা আছে যে 1991ত যেতিয়া লিবাৰেলাইজেশ্যন, প্ৰাইভেটাইজেশ্যন আৰু গ্ল'বেলাইজেশ্যন ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ গ্ৰহণ কৰিলে, যাক ইকনমিক্সৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলে জানিব LPG বুলি কোৱা হয়, সেইখিনি সময়ত কিন্তু ভাৰত চৰকাৰে এখন চুক্তি স্বাক্ষৰ কৰিছিল যিখনক কোৱা হয় জেনেৰেল এগ্ৰিমেণ্ট অন ট্ৰেড ইন চাৰ্ভিচেছ, GATS, GATS। GATSত এটা ভয়ানক কথা আছে যিটো কথা আমি নাজানো বা যিটো কথা বিভিন্ন সময়ত চৰকাৰৰ যিসকল ব্যক্তিয়ে এইবোৰ পলিচি নিৰ্ণয় কৰে তেওঁলোকে আমাক নকয় বা সেইখিনি সময়তো হোৱা নাছিল। যে 1991ত যেতিয়া সেই চুক্তিখন স্বাক্ষৰ হৈছিল গেটছৰ লগত, তাৰ এটা কণ্ডিশ্যন হ'ল, মই কোট কৰিছোঁ, দিছ এগ্ৰিমেণ্ট বাইণ্ডছ দ্য কাণ্ট্ৰিজ টু এলাউইং মাৰ্কেট এক্সেছ। আপোনালোকে শব্দটো অলপ মন কৰিব, মাৰ্কেট এক্সেছ এণ্ড or removal of restrictions to market access. The agreement presently covers 12 specified services, including educational service. আপোনালোকে এটা কথা মন কৰিব, এইটো মাৰ্কেটৰ কথা কোৱা হৈছে, কিন্তু মাৰ্কেটৰ ভিতৰত শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাটো ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ চৰকাৰে সেই সময়ত গেটছ চুক্তিৰ আণ্ডাৰত স্বাক্ষৰ কৰিছিল। আৰু গেট চুক্তি স্বাক্ষৰ কৰাৰ পিছত যিকেইটা এৰিয়াত সেই চুক্তিখন কাৰ্যকৰী হ'ব, তাৰ ভিতৰত সেই আটাইকেইটাই কিন্তু ফ্ৰী ট্ৰেড জোন হিচাপে ডিক্লেয়াৰ কৰা হৈছিল। অৰ্থাৎ 1991ত ভাৰতীয় শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাটো ফ্ৰী ট্ৰেড জোন এটালৈ ৰূপান্তৰ কৰা হৈছিল। আৰু সেইকাৰণে কি হৈছিল, পিছৰ পৰ্যায়ত দেখা যায় যে বহুত লিখা পঢ়া হৈছিল, লিখা মেলা হৈছিল, বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ সমালোচনা হৈছিল। তাত আমাৰ অসমৰে এজন শিক্ষকে ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি নিউজত লিখিছিল, মই সেই ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি নিউজৰ সেই এডিশ্যনটো পাৰ্টিকুলাৰলি পঢ়িছোঁ। তাত তেওঁ এষাৰি বৰ গাত লগা কথা কৈছিল, that the domain of Saraswati has now been transformed to a marketable commodity. সেই সময়লৈকে ভাৰতীয় শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাটো এটা শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থা আছিলে, এটা ছাৰ্ভিচ ছেক্টৰত আছিলে, তাৰপিছত কিন্তু তাক এটা মাৰ্কেটেবল কমডিটিলৈ ৰূপান্তৰ কৰা হয়। আৰু তাৰ পিছৰ পৰ্যায়ত আমি দেখিছোঁ বিভিন্ন ফৰেইন ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি কিছুমান চেণ্টাৰ আমাৰ ভাৰতবৰ্ষলৈ আহিলে, বহুখিনি কথা আহিল তাতকৈ ভয়ানক কথাটো হ'ল যে সেই যিবিলাক জাতি বা যিবিলাক দেশে আমাৰ ইয়াত শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাত ব্যৱসায় কৰিবলৈ আহিছে তেওঁলোকক এটা ষ্টেটাছ দিয়া হ'ল অফিচিয়েল ষ্টেটাছ to WTO দিছে World Trade Organization they are regarded as most favored nation তেওঁলোকক most favored nation বুলি কোৱা হৈছে ষ্টেটাছ দিয়া হৈছে as per article 2 of the GATS article 2 সেই বস্তুটো আছে article 24 এটা বস্তু আছে all types of Indian education institutes are accountable to the WTO through government of India যে আমাৰ সকলো ধৰণৰ শিক্ষানুষ্ঠান WTO ৰ ওচৰত accountable World Trade Organization সহায় গতিকে আমি যদি ভালকৈ চাওঁ এটা বস্তু আমি খুব দেখিম যে গ্লোবেলাইজেশনৰ কাৰণে ভাৰতীয় শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাটো এটা নিউ কলোনিয়েলিজমৰ সৃষ্টি হ'ল আমি বহুতে গৌৰৱ কৰোঁ বিভিন্ন সময়ত যে আমি স্বাধীন দেশৰ মানুহ ব্ৰিটিছক খেলিলো ব্ৰিটিছে আমাক ইংৰাজী শিকাইছিল সেই ইংৰাজী শিক্ষাৰ শিক্ষিত ব্যক্তিয়ে ব্ৰিটিছক খেলি পঠাইছিল ঠিক একে ধৰণে আজিৰ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাটো কিন্তু এটা নিউ কলোনাইজ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থা বুলি আমি ক'ব পাৰোঁ এতিয়া মই আহিব খুজিছোঁ এইখিনিলৈ যে তাৰ পিছত 1991 ৰ পিছত কি হ'ল 1994 ত আমি সকলোৱে জানো নেকৰ এটা অফিচ বেংগলোৰত স্থাপন কৰা হ'ল নেকৰ যদি আমি কাগজখিনি চাওঁ আমি ইয়াত যেহেতু এখন সকলো IQAC সকলো মেম্বাৰ আছে বা কলেজত IQAC হৈ কাম কৰা সকলো ব্যক্তি আছে আমি IQAC হৈ অলপ সকলোৱে কিছু কথা জানো ব্যক্তিগতভাৱে মই কলেজত থাকোঁতে IQAC কোঅৰ্ডিনেটৰ আছিলো আপোনালোকে যদি IQAC ডকুমেণ্টবোৰ চাই তাত কেইটামান শব্দ খুব সঘনে আমি দেখা পাওঁ এটা হ'ল ষ্টেক হোল্ডাৰ শব্দটো আছে যিটো শব্দ আমি ইকনমিক্স বা কমাৰ্চত পাওঁ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাত ষ্টেক হোল্ডাৰ শব্দটো কেতিয়াও নাছিল 1991 ৰ আগত এটলিষ্ট ভাৰতবৰ্ষত ষ্টেক হোল্ডাৰ শব্দটো ইউজ কৰা নাছিল নেকৰ আমি সকলো কাগজ পত্ৰ দেখো যে তেওঁলোকে আমাক কি বিচাৰে কোৱান্টিটি বিচাৰে ফৰেন ষ্টুডেন্ট কেইজন আছে নাম্বাৰ they do not want the quality they want the number ফৰেন জাৰ্নেলত মোৰ পেপাৰ কিমান পাবলিছ হ'ল আমাৰ কলেজৰ কেইজনৰ পাবলিছ হ'ল ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি কিমানৰ পাবলিছ হ'ল ইম্পেক্ট ফেক্টৰ কিমানজন টিচাৰ বাহিৰৰ পৰা আহিছে কিমানজন লোকেলৰ পৰা আহিছে so it's all about a game of numbers and digitization এই নাম্বাৰ বিলাক যে আমাক দিলে নাম্বাৰ বিলাকে আমাৰ সেই কাৰণে কিছু বস্তু আমাৰ পৰা ৰিফ্লেক্ট টানি লৈ গ'ল যে ভাৰতীয় শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাত আগতে আছিলে উইজডম এণ্ড নলেজ নাও ইট ইজ ৰিপ্লেচড বাই স্কিল এণ্ড প্ৰডাক্টিভিটি আমি কিমান প্ৰডিউচ কৰিছো প্ৰডাকশ্যন শব্দটো শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থালৈ আহিলে স্কিল শব্দটো আহিলে আৰু এভৰিথিং ইজ নাও কোৱান্টিফাইড গতিকে আমি সকলো নাম্বাৰৰে আমি জোখ-মাখ কৰিবলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিলোঁ এতিয়া কথা হ'ল কি তাৰ পিছতে যিহেতু ভাৰতবৰ্ষলৈ বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ ব্যক্তি আহিলে সেইখিনি সময়ত আমাৰ কম্পিটিশ্যনটো হ'ল যে আমি পৃথিৱীৰ বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ বা ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰে আগশাৰী শিক্ষানুষ্ঠানৰ লগত কেনেকৈ ফেৰ মাৰোঁ এই কথাখিনি কিন্তু 1991 আৰম্ভ হ'ল আজি সেইখিনিৰ কাৰণে প্ৰিপাৰেশ্যন নোহোৱাৰ কাৰণে আমি আজি COVID-19 সময়ত এনেকুৱা কিছুমান চেলেঞ্জ অপৰচুনিটি বা আমি কেনেকৈ আগবাঢ়ি যাম এই কথাখিনি আমি কিয় পাতিব লগা হৈছে সেই কথাখিনিৰ কাৰণে মই আগৰ কথাখিনি কৈছোঁ যে এই কথাখিনি আজি তাৰিখত যে পাতিলোঁ কিয় পাতিলোঁ আমি আগতে কিয় পতা নাই চেলেঞ্জেছ অপৰচুনিটিজ এণ্ড ৱে ফৰৱাৰ্ড আমাৰ এটা চিষ্টেম ফেইল হৈ গ'ল সেই চিষ্টেম যিটো চিষ্টেম ফেইল হ'ল সেই চিষ্টেমটো ৰেষ্টৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি এই কথাখিনি আজি পাতিব লগা হৈছে বা হুইচ দ্য প্ৰচেছ ষ্টাৰ্টেড ৱে বেক ইন 1991 এণ্ড 1994 অফিচিয়েলি 1991 আৰম্ভ হৈছিলে আমি তেতিয়া সেইখিনি সকলোৱে গম নোপোৱাকৈ গ্ৰহণ কৰিছিলোঁ আৰু তাৰ ফলশ্ৰুতিত আজি আমি হয়তো এনেকুৱা কথা কিছুমান চিন্তা কৰিব লগা হৈছে যিখিনি আমি এই মুহূৰ্তত ইয়াত বহি পাতিব লগা হৈছে বাধ্য হৈ পাতিব লগা হৈছে এতিয়া ইয়াত চেলেঞ্জ সেই অৰ্থত আমাৰ চেলেঞ্জবোৰ তেনেকৈ আহিল আৰু চেলেঞ্জবোৰৰ ভিতৰত যদি আমি চাওঁ আমাৰ দুটা ডাঙৰ চেলেঞ্জ দুই তিনিটা ডাঙৰ চেলেঞ্জ আছে মই ফিল্ডত কাম কৰা হিচাপে একাডেমিক এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেটৰ হিচাপে কথাখিনি ক'বলৈ গৈছোঁ এটা হ'ল আমাৰ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ ইয়াত ডিজিটাইজেশ্যনৰ কথাটো আহিল ইণ্টাৰনেটৰ কথা আহিল এইখিনি আহিবই এইখিনি গতিকে মই ক'ব খোজা নাই যে সেই বস্তুখিনি আহিবই সেইখিনি আমাক লাগিবই সেইখিনি আমি ল'ব লাগিবই কিন্তু আমি কেনেকৈ ল'ম আমাৰ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ নাই বুলি আমি কওঁ এটা ডাঙৰ চেলেঞ্জ এটা ডিজিটেল ডিভাইড আমাৰ এতিয়াও আছে আমি যিমানেই নকওঁ আজি মোৰ মই যিখিনি কথা কৈ আছো বা আমি বেলেগ কোনোবাই কৈ আছো বহুতে হয়তো ইচ্ছা কৰিলে এইখিনি কথা শুনিব নোৱাৰিব বা শুনিব সুবিধা নাপাব পাৰে বিকজ অফ the distance, that is the digital divide. সেইটো ভাৰতবৰ্ষত এতিয়াও আছে, আজি তাৰিখতো আছে। আমি যদি তাৰ পিছত চাওঁ দুটা ডাঙৰ বস্তু হ'ল যে এই সমস্যাটো সমাধান কৰিবৰ কাৰণে we have to be unified. সেই অৰ্থত আজি সুৰেন্দ্ৰাছ কলেজ আৰু নগাঁও গাৰ্লছ কলেজ I appreciate their effort because they are coming together and it is a symbol of how we can unite and how we can move forward to tackle the situation. সেই অৰ্থত ডাঙৰ এটা সমস্যা হ'ল যে আমি সকলোখিনি কিন্তু গোট খাই পেলাই কথাবোৰ চিন্তা নকৰোঁ হয় গুৱাহাটী বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ আজি 2 মাহৰ আগৰ ঘটনা এটা এই সম্পৰ্কত উল্লেখ কৰিব খুজিছোঁ যে এইবাৰ লকডাউন বা এইবাৰ ৰেষ্ট্ৰিকশ্যন খিনি অহাৰ ঠিক আগমুহূৰ্তত এপ্ৰিলৰ 21-22 তাৰিখে গুৱাহাটী বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ত মাষ্টাৰ ডিগ্ৰী 3rd ছেমিষ্টাৰ পৰীক্ষা চলি আছিল যিটো পৰীক্ষা এপ্ৰিলৰ 1 তাৰিখলৈকে চলিল একেখিনি সময়তে 21-22 তাৰিখে গুৱাহাটীত কিছু ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী এনেকুৱা ওলাল বিভিন্ন কলেজৰ পৰা ওলাল আহিল তেওঁলোকে ক'লে যে আমি পৰীক্ষা দিব নোৱাৰো কাৰণ আমাৰ স্বাস্থ্যৰ অৱনতি হ'ব একেটা কেম্পাছত থকা একে হোষ্টেলত থকা একেটা ডাইনিং হলত ভাত খোৱা কিছু ষ্টুডেণ্টে কিন্তু পৰীক্ষা দিব গ'ল আৰু কিছু ষ্টুডেণ্টে পৰীক্ষা দিব নোৱাৰে বুলি পৰীক্ষা দিলে এই ডিমান্ড কৰি যে পৰীক্ষাটো 30 তাৰিখলৈ পিছুৱাই যাওক 30 তাৰিখৰ পিছত পৰীক্ষাটো পিছুৱাই গ'লে তাৰ মানে তেওঁলোকে অনলাইন পৰীক্ষা দিব গতিকে এটা ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিক্যালি তেওঁলোকে মুভ কৰিলে আমি পৰীক্ষাসমূহ দিব লগা হ'ল এতিয়া কথা হ'ল পৰীক্ষাসমূহ পিছুৱাই দি আমি যদি অনলাইন পৰীক্ষা পাতিবলৈ গ'লো তেতিয়া আহিলে বেলেগ ধৰণৰ সমস্যা যে আমাৰ ইন্টাৰনেট কানেক্টিভিটি নাই আমাক টাইম বঢ়াই দিব লাগে আমি দূৰত থাকো বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ কথা এই কথাবিলাক মই এইটো কৈছো যে এই যিবিলাক অসুবিধা আছে এই অসুবিধাবিলাক কিছুমানে কিন্তু সুবিধালৈ ৰূপান্তৰ কৰিছে ইন এ নেগেটিভ সেন্স আৰু কিছুমানে ৰূপান্তৰ কৰিছে ইন এ পজিটিভ সেন্স so I call upon everyone to transform these difficulties in a positive way আমি কেনেকৈ আগবাঢ়ি যাব পাৰো এই ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি চিন্তা কৰিব লাগিব সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত বিশেষকৈ মই কলেজৰ প্ৰিন্সিপাল সকলক অধ্যক্ষসকলক আহ্বান জনাব কৈছো আজি প্লেটফৰ্মৰ যোগেদি যে they should take the leadership to transform the society to transform the mental makeup of our students as well as our guardians এইখিনি কথা মই এই কাৰণে কৈছো যে এই বস্তুখিনি মই দেখি আছো মই কেইবাবাৰ কৈছো বস্তুখিনি মই দেখি আছো আৰু মই ভাবিছো যে আমাৰ এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আমাৰ যদিও লেট হৈছে মোৰ মতে আমাৰ এইবিলাক চিন্তা কৰা লেট হৈছে যথেষ্ট লেট হৈছে যে এই কথাখিনি হাৰুগত কৰি বা এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কথা চিন্তা কৰি আমি ভৱিষ্যতে কেনেকৈ আগবাঢ়ি যাব পাৰিম তাৰ বিষয়ে আজি ৱেবিনাৰখনে নিশ্চয় এটা যোগাত্মক দিশ আমাক দেখাব পাৰিব বুলি মোৰ আশা আমাৰ অসুবিধাখিনিও আমি হিচাপ কৰিব লাগিব সুবিধাখিনিও কেনেকৈ ল'ব পাৰো সেইখিনি আমি কৰিব লাগিব এই ক্ষেত্ৰত মই ভাবিছো আমাৰ যিজন ভাল স্পিকাৰ আছে আমাৰ তেখেতলোকে নিশ্চয় হাৰুৱা বক্তব্যৰে আমাক কিছু গাইডেন্স দিব পাৰিব মই অসুবিধাবিলাক ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰাৰ হিচাপে আমি সদায় অসুবিধাবিলাকে ফেচ কৰোঁ সেইকাৰণে মই অসুবিধাবিলাকৰ কথা বেছিকৈ কৈছো সুবিধাবিলাকৰ কথা মই বেছিকৈ ক'ব খোজা নাই বাট উই শুড ট্ৰাই টু ট্ৰান্সফৰ্ম these difficulties into something of a kind of positive vibes so that is my call for all the people who are present in this seminar so মই দীঘলীয়া নকৰো বহুত মানুহ আছে যেহেতু অনলাইন মিটিং আমি সোনকালে শেষ কৰিব লাগিব so with these words and I anticipate that the speakers will highlight us on the emerging issues challenges opportunities and how we can transform these challenges into opportunities or into something positive with that in mind I declare this national webinar on COVID-19 pandemic and higher education institutions, challenges, opportunities, and way forward as being inaugurated. Thank you.
Dhanyawad, Nath sir. So Nath sir has brilliantly, within very short period, he has explained how the challenges are coming to the higher educational institutions in India. Since 1991, he has pointed out the changes, what has taken place, and he related these changes to the COVID-19 pandemic also. So he emphasized on the shift from wisdom and knowledge to skill and productivity. And as college lecturers, as faculty members of different colleges, we all know we also require numbers, number of seminars, number of certificates, everything has been quantified. But still, we have to move forward, taking all these challenges. Now, we are going to the technical sessions. First, we have Dr. Jogen Chandra Kolita sir. He is at present head Department of Zoology, Guwahati University. He is former director of UGC Human Resource Development Center, Guwahati University. He was also director of College Development Council, Guwahati University. He is coordinator of and professor in charge of International Relations Office, Guwahati University, and coordinator of Guwahati University Overseas Association. Since his student days, he was very brilliant. He is a gold medalist, and he completed his PhD from King's College, London, and he has also completed several research fellowships at international level. He is involved with almost all the universities of Northeast India and also some universities our region in different capacities. He is also actively involved in various academic and related matters with almost all the colleges of Assam, and whenever any college approach him for his advice, for his help, he is always readily available.
কিবা টেকনিক্যাল প্ৰব্লেম হৈছে নেকি বাৰু?
ডক্টৰ ভূঞা,
অহা নাই, হয়
হয় ডক্টৰ ভূঞা শুনিছেনে? বলিন ভূঞা, হেল্ল', ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞা শুনিছেনে? হয়তো তেখেতৰ কিবা টেকনিকেল প্ৰব্লেম হ'ব। তেওঁৰ চাগে ইণ্টাৰনেটৰ প্ৰব্লেম হৈছে।
প্ৰব্লেম হৈছে
হয় ছাৰ, কৰিছে ছাৰ।
আমি কন্টিনিউ কৰিব পাৰো নেকি?
ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞা আপুনি শুনিছেনে? আহিছে, তেখেত আহিছে আকৌ।
Sorry for the inconvenience. কাৰেণ্ট গৈছিল কাৰণে অকমান প্ৰব্লেম হৈছিলে। So now I will request Professor Jogen Chandra Kolita sir to deliver his lecture. Over to you, sir.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Jyotismita. Please present the slide.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I want to address the honorable principal, both the principal, Surendascollege Hazu and Nagaon Girls College, Dr. Sharma and Dr. Bhuya. We have esteemed Registrar of Guwahati University, Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath. I am very delighted to see Professor Minmoy Sharma, a busy person, Central University professor and dean. So I am really very happy when Dr. Sharma told me that Professor Minmoy Sharma will be in the seminar. I am very happy to see that both the IQAC or both they are together today. So, esteemed professors from different colleges, esteemed participants from different higher education institutions of the country, I am delighted to see that you are together today. The very important aspect, what already Dr. Nath, the esteemed registrar of Guwahati University, the oldest and premier university of the region. He talked from his experiences. He pointed out some of the negatives and some of the positive aspects of our education system and which way we can lead. That is the big question. So which way to lead, we need to create leaders. He also mentioned that we have the leaders, they are the principals. I do consider all the principals of the colleges in the state as the education leaders. And they are assisted by learned faculty members, like normally what we do. Professor Mrinmoy Sharma and myself, we did many academic audits. And we met many scholars, mainly the esteemed faculty members from various disciplines. They are very eminent in their field, they are very skilled, and they have good rapport amongst the students. So that is what we need today. So as our time is very bad, as all of you know, but we can make it good by our togetherness. United we stand. That should be our policy today. So with this, I want to start with my slides. So next slide, please. Jyotismita, go to the next slide. It takes a little bit time, please bear with me. So here you see that COVID-19 has created a worst crisis in the field of education in this particular century. In our lifetime, you see, this is the most dangerous, devastating effect we have. And in the education sector, people used to say that higher education has been suffering a lot. And therefore, at this particular point of time, we need to think about our challenges. So first thing is that I mentioned about devastating effect. You see years of potential intellectual life loss. Go to the next slide. Jyotismita, next. So intellectual potential life loss. How many lost human can bear? We cannot imagine the lost. People, lives, property, intellectual property, everything lost. And a country like India, with more than 140 crore people, and you see the number and the percentage of students, and they are very badly affected, right from the primary, lower primary to university level. Globally, go to the next slide. Globally, most education campuses are now closed. 1.5 billion students, approximately 20% of world population. They are inside their houses. Many institutions, by force, had to transform into the digital learning providers. They could, but in a state like Assam or many states in India, it is not possible to provide 100% support in here. So that is happening, and that can be considered as a big challenge. Not all educational institutions will be equipped with online very soon. Even though it started in 2019, the last day of December, COVID-19, till date, we are getting so many information that people, they don't have the electricity, the people, they don't have the digital means, and though our register has already mentioned, that though we have internet and everything, but digital divide is there. So these are the constraints we have in our society, and more in the Northeast, and more in the states of Northeastern region of India. So therefore, our challenge is much larger, greater than anybody else in the country. So next one. it is a time of crisis. So therefore, it requires the society to renew itself. Okay? We need to think again, we need to renew, and we need to be very strong in organizational basis. If I think about Guwahati University, this should be very strong to guide around 370 colleges with affiliation. So therefore, all the colleges, if we are together, we can be stronger. So my appeal will be now at this moment in the beginning to be together, think together, how to help Guwahati University to help you. That is also one aspect I wanted to tell you. The COVID-19 pandemic has been transforming life, living, working style, relating to each other, not at regional level, even at the global level, and not taking too long time. Suddenly, within a week, dramatically, people used to say. So suddenly, dramatically, we are at a position that we need to act together. That is universal responsibility. Alone, we cannot do anything to help the people to live, to help the student to learn. We need to be together. So with that approach, I think both the colleges are doing a great thing today. Even next slide, Smita. The university, which we consider the best university in country, one of the best universities in the country. We talk about JNU, we talk about PHU, Delhi University. You see the situation in Delhi University. Fight COVID-19 campus surge. Lot many things happen. Loss of life due to oxygen. You see, oxygen crisis. So another crisis. People never could think of that. And in a university, in the capital city of Delhi, the situation is like that. So not to talk about many, but I am showing few examples. So next one, please. So here is the statistics that how universities are determining their loss. 89% of university presence, university vice chancellors, they express serious concern about their entire institution financial future. Okay, you see, we are thinking about our academic future. The governance, like our registrar, vice chancellor, many in the world, in many universities, they are thinking about the financial crisis, how to continue. Some of them, they also opine that in future, the privatization will grow. Then what happen will be to poor students of India. The COVID-19 crisis exposed the educators, as we discussed, the digital divide. We have this potential, but that is divided, not for all, but for few only. So how can we work them? 92 university vice chancellors are most concerned about the mental health of the students. Yes, the right area of concern. So like that, you will be getting information from across the world that governance, the governing parts, like we talk about vice chancellor, we talk about central university, we talk about state university, administration, they are very much concerned about life, the health, the finance, to support the system, the educational system in university as well as in colleges for future to continue. So there are many problems. Next, please, because I am trying to finish in 30 minutes time. So help me, Smita, you are showing the challenges. Yes, rightly. So we have the potential to use digital system, though it is not uniformly distributed, but still, but how to adapt to the digital system so quickly, and it is remote learning. Okay, so additional problems are there. What are the additional problems? About tracking the students, about their engagement, about whether they are keeping their motivation up. Suppose they are losing their motivation. Do you have any mechanism to grow that motivation, to help them to, up their motivation? So like that, we have lot many things where we are falling. We do not have that type of adequate system, but we have the digital system, like Guwahati University adopted online open book system. We have started PG level. It is a big challenge. My dear esteemed professors and all participant friends, we are attending this seminar. We are talking about challenges. It is one of the biggest challenges, how to accommodate this new system in new normal life. The life we may get, or we got it after, I think, November 2020. We got a little bit of new normal life, but because of the second wave, we again coming back to the original. So this is a very critical time for the students to complete their coursework and eventually to get the degree. To be a graduate with quality, it is not easy for them. So therefore, our education institution, those who are massively shifting to digital, to remote learning, it is a challenge to all of us to be connected with staff, connected with students, and connected with the faculty members. We need to have some sort of training program for the staff, like our Surendascollege principal, Dr. Sharma. He has staff in the office, and in the laboratory, they have some people working and supporting us. Can we organize few small training program so that they can also be a part to help in the digital remote learning system, so that they can keep track of the students to help them in practical? Because you never know, this may continue for many years, though I do not wish that. But I think if it continues, then we will have to think about that's mainly the science stream. Nagaon Girls College, Surendascollege, they are getting sciences this year. We need to think about teaching, giving training, short-term training to our staff, to give them some office training to work remotely. Otherwise, we'll be slowing down. So slowing down, it is a big challenge. If I ask Dr. Sharma that can you send a letter tomorrow, and he may say, oh sir, I cannot have the connection with the office people. Office people may say that we are not equipped with the techniques you are using or computer science professors are using. But then why not to tackle together? Request the computer science teachers to work together with the principal and give them a sort of training. It is not that you can give the training to your college only. Any college of Assam, of my state Assam, can come forward like Dr. Sharma and Dr. Bhuyan to support others. That way it's a very big aspect to connect with the staff. At the same time, faculty training program, own faculty training program. I am talking about own faculty. College can organize for their own, of their own, or their own and of their own. Why? To tackle own problem. Surendascollege problems may not be similar with Nagaon Girls College problem. So therefore, there can be some small 3 days, 2 days meetings, which may be termed as training with certificate, or our Guwahati University can endorse or can also send messages from the register of the Honorable Vice Chancellor that, yeah, this is my message. It's a very good thing you are doing. Why we need the message? Because it is the blessings. Like the register talk very briefly, but he touched all the important points. And also he gives the blessings to all the colleges so that we can work together. And the feedback, okay, feedback. Suppose I am teaching online. Are we taking feedback regularly, or do the students, they are very good in giving feedback, or are they acting quickly? So these are the issues which I consider challenges in digital learning. And as I mentioned about Guwahati University, I think today in the Northeast, Guwahati University shows the strength that yes, we can go with digital examination, that is remote examination, open online, perhaps maybe in the history of education in the state of Assam. I do not like to expand it to India, but I can tell you that this is very important and very courageous step, but we should be very, very careful. Who should be careful? We all, the stakeholders, what Register mentioned about, all the principals, mainly. Because when we talk about undergraduate teaching and undergraduate assessment, main leaders, they are the principals and the professors in the colleges and the regulatory bodies, academic council, and the head of the departments of university departments who are always in touch with the colleges. And that way, if we work, I think we can accept these challenges what I am talking about. And whether our system is secure, whether it is trustworthy, it will take time. Because if Guwahati University, they put this particular system sets in this year, I think it may take some time to give the good feedback. And if we get the feedback, we can get the strength. Working remotely and working together in person is totally different thing. So therefore, we need to think about the finance and our administrative business, whether the resource mobilization sectors and others are there side by side, continuing like what we want. Because if we talk about official functioning, then if we want to work remotely, we need to strengthen the office staff. Educating the staff may be one of the biggest challenges in all the colleges in today's time. I think that this can be done because some motivational program can be arranged by the principals. And if we want to address this effectively, it will be vital to provide some easier things. Easy, not difficult. Like our register, what he said, it was so easy to understand. So like that, easy package should be given from the principal to the college staff, to the student, and the faculty members can innovate new ideas. That I will talk a little bit later. So research project, I think Central University professor, he will be talking about, Professor Sharma, he will be talking about the problems. The problems in continuing with the projects is a big problem for India today. So therefore, how they are tackling it, because central universities, they are always ahead, because they have direct contact and direct connection with central government, PMO office, MHRD office, UGC office. So therefore, they have some good strategies. So why not to pick up those strategies if they can be used in our colleges and universities? Because if we wait, then everything will lose. We'll be losing all the equipments which are very, very sophisticated equipment. We'll be losing the funds which are very, very necessary if we work together with the Central University. Therefore, I am thankful and grateful to the organizer for inviting Professor Sharma. And I have the experiences of working with the Star College, DBT Biotech Hub. I think that they are coming forward to provide fundings with necessary equipment setups. So therefore, all the colleges of Assam should apply. Why only few colleges? I'm so much worried about that. I have organized for our department also. Then let us work together, let people know about what is happening regarding projects. If Star College, you can get, some of the colleges they have, one department can get support to the tune of the 10 lakhs per year, and Nogam College they are getting. So I think Dr. Bhuya was at that time, and he got all these facilities. He was a professor of chemistry. So that way, if we can give the tricks to the others, other colleges will be stronger like us. At this time, the opportunities, I want to mention that opportunities are enormous today. Why I am telling that we have the challenges few, but opportunities are more. As a very senior professor, I am telling you that COVID taught us so many things. So therefore, Smita, next slide. Because this disruption, okay, is the reality. So therefore, we need to be together. So what already Dr. Nath and myself we are talking, we need to be together to assess what SWOC. So colleges again to revisit, again to rethink, again to remodel everything. But a good planner always does this particular assessment. A good planner, because all the principals are the planners, all the IQAC members, they are the planners, all the registers and vice chancellors, they are the efficient planners, like Dr. Nath. They plan, but they sometimes do not speak it out because they keep it with it and they test it. If they work, then people will know. So therefore, you should do some sort of planning because you should be a good planner. And to make your planning according to your university and institution needs, you need to know your strength, know your weakness, and opportunity and challenges we are discussing. So therefore, if you go to the next one, you see why we talk too much about e-learning, because that is the only alternative to connect students. Universities and colleges are there for the students. Society built them, government built them. But in Assam, many of our society, okay, driven courses initially, then government took over. In here you see, e-learning, somebody may say that sir, it does not work. But we have enough evidences. When we talk with evidences. I request my acting colleague that always talk with evidences. Yes. In global university news, that e-learning could develop students' critical thinking skill. Then I think we are at an advantageous situation. So that is the great opportunity all of us we are getting. But we should be concerned about the digital divide. So in here, we have the market also, because when we talk about students, we talk about the students' engagement, employment, placement, and so many centers the colleges they have. So by being efficient in this technology, what technology? Teaching tools, skills development, many of the percentage of the students can be well equipped with this to earn. Because earning, to get the scope to earn, I consider is another opportunity in front of us through this particular pandemic period. Because MOOC in India, you see, after United States of America, it is one of the biggest opportunities in the world today. And who can be involved in MOOC? Any one of you. Professor Bolivia, Dr. Sharma, anyone, anybody, Peter Das, anybody can make very beautiful courses which Tesco Central University, they are giving to the world like that. So if we can do, all the colleges can develop MOOC courses, you can earn, our student can earn, and even the scholars and the new and newer faculties. So government, I wish, I think our registrar will be able to say more on this when interaction will be there. I am hopeful that government spending will be more in education. Then think this is another opportunity we have. Because government, both in state as well as in the center, they will be spending, they are bound to spend more in the budget. Additional new facilities will be coming. Registrar talk about the facilities. And I am showing some sort of facilities, what we will be used immediately after, okay, slowing down of lockdown. If lockdown process is coming to suppose 10 hours or 12 hours, at that point of time when 10 hours will be open, at that point we will be able to get this type of facility from the funding agencies and government, RUSA and many others. Or I think many of the principals can bring from the private government, non-government, private sector agencies, where Upper Assam we have oil sector, ONGC sector, and NRL and many. So I want to show in this slide what you can see here, the new whole academic world is now one platform. Okay, in here, Professor Bhuya, Professor Horma, you see that whole academic world is becoming one single platform. A student of Nagaon College, a student of Guwahati University, a student of Nagaon Girls and Surendascollege College can learn from anybody, can learn anytime, they can learn from anybody. And to do that, student needs the support of the professors. Because we the people, we need to help to find out the actual resource, because there are too many resources. So therefore, please read this, the statement what Charles Darwin made many years back. It is not the strongest of the species. You may be very rich, you may be very intelligent, but you cannot survive provided you do not know how to adapt. So adaptation is most important today. So another, okay, when we talk about way out, because most of the time we way forward, that is the theme of the seminar. I talk about challenges, I talk about few opportunities. Now I want to talk about few way forward, then I'll stop. So in way forward, you see, can blended learning be the way forward in higher education? That is Indian news. Because India, globally, India is very important in the globe. People look at India, what India has been tackling this crisis. So we need to develop better online facility. So in terms of this, if we can do this, that is our way forward. Better healthcare facility in the institutions, which we did not have earlier. Regular training, as I have mentioned, for the staff and the faculty members, that is in-house, like our central school or maybe some private schools. In-house training every week, maybe for half an hour, no problem. But it should be there to bring people together. We had to change the exam system, like Guwahati University has already set in order. It was a big courage of the university authorities. Even I was a little bit hesitant what to do. But when university decided, I thanked all the members of the executive council, including Dr. Sharma. Our Surendascollege Sharma is a member of the executive council, and took the decision. Let us start. Otherwise, who will start? So in that case, I think we are well ahead of it. So that is the way forward, I consider. And developing collaboration. Collaboration, we should develop amongst us. Like Nagaon College, Nagaon Girls College, and Surendascollege College. They are collaborating together for many years. And today they are projecting this seminar for the benefits of all who are attending it. So therefore, way forward, to be way forward, okay, we need to have effective planning measures. Like China, when China immediately recognized COVID problem, okay, previous slide, Jyotismita, previous one. So China, what they did, they thought of 270 million students to give online transaction of education. Immediately they planned in the initial period, and later on they extended it, and they covered many percentage of the students who are learning digitally. So therefore, to think about way forward, I put forward this first, that restore. We need to think about how to get back to where we were before the pandemic. Okay, then evolve. We need to evolve now because we got to know the problems. Adapt to the new normal, new digital, or whatever new you can find. You have the ideas in your mind. My dear participant friends, you are the real resource persons. Though I am talking as a resource person today, I think you are the real resource person in the field, which is in terms of Jyotismita Das, ecosystem. You are in the ecosystem. You are in the ecosystem where you are the experts. And that ecosystem, you need to adapt, you need to evolve, and you need to transform to survive. It is a question of survival. So redefining your institution. Now you could analyze strength, weakness, and everything. So now it is the time you redefine and rebuild your institution, taking an active role in innovation. You need to innovate now, new idea. You need to generate from your faculty members, from your stakeholders, like as I have mentioned, stakeholders, right from the executive council to the students, to the parents, to the alumni, like that governing body in your colleges and all. And here, as I talk about innovation, I think it should come because it is a problem and it is not national, not state, it is international. So if you think or if you find something working, immediately bring it back to your own platform. Like Hazo. Hazo may be a very remote place, though it is only 30 minutes from Guwahati. Okay? But still, you can bring the advanced technology from United States of America because we are fortunate, because we have one particular single platform, that is digital platform. Appreciate the people, your staff. Your staff means faculty members who can, next please, innovate. Who can innovate new teaching method. Method may be very simple, but principal should recognize. Principal should write a letter with 3-4 lines that yes, you take this and we recognize your innovation, innovative practice. That only people will be coming towards you. They will be concentrating around you and they will be working nicely. Like this professor I am showing you, Professor David and University of New South Wales. So they are producing some sort of system, teaching system, where he is engaging student. He is taking his student at the time of lecture. When he is demonstrating, he has been keeping the students, okay, interest intact. To keep the students' interest intact, that professor, he realized and innovate something, and he has been recognized. So like that at your college level, at your university level, we should recognize the people, those who are innovating. So I think from this, globally, higher education will emerge as a stronger, okay, and from this COVID tsunami. From this COVID tsunami, globally, higher education will be very strong. Then why not we? We are in the group, we are in the same group, so we'll be strong. So with this positivity, what Dr. Hemanto Nath has said, we should be positive. As the whole world will grow in the higher education sector, so we will grow together. So therefore, think about internationalization. Today, all the colleges should talk about internationalization of education. Whatever you are doing in Hazo, whatever you are doing in Nagaon, you should put in the international platform that you will be visible. You can make a position in the world academic map. You have your websites. So therefore, make your website one of the strongest amongst many. Next, please. So therefore, many of the universities will be together, as I have mentioned, and they will be working together because one university cannot solve one single invisible problem that was our COVID-19. So therefore, world universities are struggling to find out partners. My request is that, even to the Register of Guwahati University, that make some of the institutions, the partners, to solve global problems, like Tezpur Central University. They are in a partnership with many of the strongest universities in the world. Stanford University, I think many universities in Japan, they are working together. And they are the partners. Tezpur Central University, IIT, Guwahati, and in Guwahati University also, we have, I think, more than 51 MOUs. But that should be very, very active. So therefore, we have better days to come. I am very positive that we will be getting a good time ahead. So digital poverty, we talk about digital divide, all will get off. Next, please. Higher education, okay, will be the key to building back better post-COVID. So how to make better post-COVID situation? Only through education. And where you are the partners, all the principals, all the professors, all the participants today, you do not think that you are not important. You are very, very important today because COVID has damaged, okay, very badly. And to cope up and to adapt and to revive, we need to work. As J.F. Kennedy of America, earlier president said, even a person can make a difference. Everyone should try. Okay? Like alone, Dr. Bolin Bhuya can make a sense. I'm just giving one example. Alone, my student Vibhav Talukdar, he created change to Aranya. So like that, I want to tell you next slide where our doctor maybe, okay, when Hiranya Sharma, myself and Dr. Bolin Bhuya would have been to China, we had been to Japan, we have been to UK, many, many universities in the world we visited. Not alone, not me only. We were 40 principals, you see. Many of the principals, education leaders from Assam, we were together in the Kyoto University Center, Japan. Long before this COVID, we were thinking about internationalization of education of Assam. We have everything, just we need to work together and to showcase and to make a position in the world academic map. Next, please. So therefore, strategic planning our register will do, because the register and all principals, they are the planners as I have mentioned. So they will be making some strategic planning and investment, okay, to learn in digital system. Next, please. And human connection is most important. I'm coming to the end. So human connection is very important. So therefore, be, okay, stay connected. My appeal to all of you, I am a very senior person, my appeal to all of you that be connected, okay, and think about the problems of the student which are, okay, they need our urgent attention, their mental health problem. So COVID-19 created a lot of problems, including students' mental health problem and university's future. When Dr. Nath will be planning for Guwahati University's future, he should think about the economic, okay, meltdown, what he pointed out. Economic meltdown. And Professor Sharma, when we plan for future university and colleges, then we need to think about the condition, economic conditions and our planning, whether it will be adjusted together nicely, then only it will work. So, are we ready is a big question. Are we ready? Were we ready? We were not ready. Are we ready now because we had the lesson from COVID-19? So this is another important issue I want to talk. Next, please. Next one. Yeah, next I already talked about restore, evolve, transform. These are the keys. These are our resources. Okay, you all my dear participant friends, you make acquainted with all these particular bioresources and our cultural resources to our students of India. As I have said, we have everything, but we need to preserve. We need to conserve. And we have people, those who are working day in and day out to help our nature. Okay, I am showing one Niren Gogoi. In the middle of us, there is a leader. Is Dr. Manjit Gogoi. He is the principal of, okay, Jaji College. You see, the role of a principal. Role of a principal is very, very big and highly respected because you are taking care of the young generation to the future. What future? A protected future. And to do that, next please, we need to do research. So this is my research group. I have this slide to show you, to tell you, to let you know, without research, no nation can stand. So think about research. Though many of the people say that, okay, no need of research, but I do not agree to that. It may be said from Delhi central government, but I do not agree. Because research should be there in the colleges to develop quality teaching and to encourage students and to develop them to motivate them to innovate. Because innovation should be there. Because they are to climb this Zokola, this ladder. They need to climb because we are talking about students, those who are in colleges and universities, but they have a long Zokola, a long ladder. So show this light to the student so that they can climb. It's very important for the students at this moment to know what are the opportunities of higher education in front of them. Finally, what Dalai Lama said, I want to conclude with his statement. He compared ongoing global fight against COVID-19 pandemic with a lesson in universal responsibility being taught to human being by the Mother Earth and stress upon the need to realize the importance of sustainable development. We need to be sustainable. We need to develop sustainability. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jyotismita, close the slide.
Thank you, Kolita sir, for your valuable lecture. Kolita sir has rightly emphasized on the issues how this COVID-19 pandemic has created before us, before the institutions of higher education, and he has also pointed out some ways how we can tackle these problems, these challenges. He rightly emphasized on RET, R-E-T, restore, evolve, and transform. And we in the higher educational institutions need to be transformed ourselves to deal with this challenge, and his words will certainly inspire us to move forward. Now we are having another resource person, Professor Mrinmoy Kumar Sharma sir from Tezpur University. He is at present Dean of Academic Affairs, and till recently he was the Director of Teaching Learning Center of Tezpur University. Under his able leadership, many induction and training programs, capacity building programs were conducted by that center for the benefit of the faculty members and other stakeholders of higher education. Sir has completed his PhD in services marketing, and he is from the business administration department of that university. Sir has many publications. He has published several books, several book chapters, and many research papers in journals of national and international repute. We are pleased to have Sir as a resource person with us. Now I request Mrinmoy Kumar Sharma sir to deliver his speech. Thank you, sir. Sir, your voice is not coming.
Voice to ahan nahi nige.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry for this. These are the challenges of online things, you know. Unfortunately, fortunately, I knew the problem and then immediately I could solve it. So it's my proud privilege to be with you today in this warm afternoon, of course. And it is always a pleasure and honor to listen to Professor Kolita. Is it all right? Is it all right?
All right. Yeah, good.
Yes, all right.
Yes, it is always an honor to listen to Professor Kolita. He's my senior professor, and we have been moving around to different places, as he mentioned already. But one problem to be allowed to speak after him is that he speaks everything, and there is nothing for me to tell you. That's a compliment, Professor Kolita.
Thank you.
It's real. তেখেতে ইমান ধুনীয়াকে ইমান এক্সাম্পল দি পেলাই আপোনাক কথাবিলাক ক'লে I think there is nothing left for me to speak about on this, but then I am going to talk about certain revolutionary thing, because my topic was given as innovation. Professor Ahmed, আপনার মেরিটো বন্ধ কৰিব লাগিব।
হয়, সকিম আহমেদ, কাইন্ডলি আপনি মিউট কৰি থকচোন। সকিম আহমেদ, আপনি মাইকটো অকমান বন্ধ কৰি দিয়ক।
ৰখিছো তেখেতে হেৰি কৰালে।
সকিম আহমেদ।
হৈছে। So let me formally start my so-called speech. It cannot be a speech because you are so learned, all of you. I cannot give a speech in front of you. I'll just share with you whatever little I know about these things and what I've learned during this last year and this year, and what I think we can go ahead with in future. Dr. Horma, Dr. Bhuya, Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath, যদি তেখেতে এতিয়াও আছে, মই দেখা নাই।
প্ৰফেসৰ শৰ্মা, তেখেতে এটা কথা মোক কৈছে যে তেওঁ থ্ৰু আউট দ্য সেশন থাকিব বুলি কৈছে।
Oh, so kind of you. So kind of, and মোৰ শ্ৰদ্ধেয় যোগেন চন্দ্ৰ কলিতা দা, এইবাৰ ভাৰ্গৱ ডেকাৰ ফোন মোবাইল হেৰিটো অন হৈ আছে। It's very difficult to get concentrating in this kind of a situation, but then anyway, let me continue. And my esteemed fellow colleagues from both the colleges, and as I learned that there are some colleagues who are joining from other institutes as well. It's I say that it's my honor and proud privilege to be with you and share whatever little I know, so that I can provoke you to do whatever we are actually supposed to do in the future. Some of these, I have prepared a small presentation. Some of these presentations would be shared in another refresher course that is again organized by Teaching Learning Center. So if any one of you are joining that refresher course or organized by Teaching Learning Center, Tezpur University, kindly bear with me. There might be some repetition and again on 17th, but I think it is worth take the risk of repeating, because if you keep on talking about these things again and again and again, I'm sure it will be going to be a real fruitful exercise. So let me start my presentation, but then if I start presenting, I will not be able to see you. So I hope if there is any problem, please someone please raise your hand and put on your speaker, a microphone, and let me know that there is a problem. So it will be a short presentation, kind of a discussion, and I would suggest someone of you, if you have got any thought, any ideas, anything that you are not agreeing with me, you can always interrupt me, talk to me, and we can go ahead with it. And by discussions, we are going to make our things better, more practicable, and more fruitful for the future. So I have just a second, let me present it. I'm trying to present. I think I'm visible. This is my presentation slide. Can you see this? Can you see the slide?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. It's really difficult to actually get a feedback whether you are actually seeing these things. What I'm trying to tell is that my entire discussion today would be on this particular thing, the only way forward. Professor Kalita has beautifully discussed about what is happening all over the world and what actually we should do. And I'm going to, give you a detailed idea actually how we can go ahead with it and what actually we can expect in the future. Even if COVID subsides next year and all of us are all over the world, all 7 billion people got vaccinated, and it would remain a small fever kind of a thing, not as deadly disease as today. But even if the students come back to our campuses, even if life becomes normal again, as we all know, and Professor Kolita was also saying, new normal thing would be there, but then the newness would always be there. So why I have titled my presentation is balancing the two T's. Actually, I am mentioning, or I try to talk about two T's, means tradition and technology. You might also say, what is there in tradition? We are not going back to the Sarak Susrut era. We are not going back to Nalanda era. But what is this tradition? Tradition, I mean the recent tradition. Tradition means that yes, we are going into a classroom. All of us we love to go to the classroom full of eager eyes and bright faces, 100, 120, 200, 40, 50, whatever is the class size. And whenever you go, there will be pin drop silence. Nobody would even talk, even harsh us voice, because they respect us so much that our presence out there would actually create that kind of a serenity in their mind and in the classroom. That is the tradition I'm looking for. I'm talking about referring to at this moment. That tradition may be no longer going to come back, but even if it is coming back, it will come back in a truncated way. We'll talk about that. And if someone is not happy with what I'm trying to tell, please raise your voice, because I cannot see you, even if you raise your hand, digital hand. But please just interrupt me and tell me. Tradition and technology. We must live with technology. We might also say it, mind with mouse. It's teenagers would love these kind of things like tradition and technology. These are old people like you and me would be talking about, but younger among us would love to talk about mind and mouse. Our mind is going to be there. All teachers' mind are invaluable. They're just cannot be replaceable by any technology. But what we are trying to do, we are trying to use our mind with our mouse. Mouse means the entire technology that we are at this moment are using, are going to use in future. And things are so fast changing. Even Google G Meet has changed their outlook just in few days back. And that's why today I had got this problem. So things are changing like anything, and we'll have to keep up with these changes. We'll have to update ourselves with the technological changes. We cannot say there is no longer any excuse for any one of us. Even if you are old as I am, older than me, there is no excuse for us that we do not know what is technology. We do not know how to use PowerPoint. We do not know how to write prepare a slide. We do not know how to use how to get into a particular seminar or today's G Meet or whatever platform we are using. So those excuses are not going to be there. Let us skill ourselves. We'll be talking about that, but then that's a great challenge for all of us. But what I'm trying to tell you is that mind and mouse are going to create that synergy, even if everything becomes normal tomorrow. So let us go ahead with this. Professor Kulta was talking about, Honorable Register was also talking about the disruption. Yes, it is disruption. So what? We cannot stop it. We never have ever thought about this. Even 2 years, 2019, January, when car or cab thing was there, we are disturbed like anything in our place. But even then, we never thought that one day we'll have to stay at home for such a longer duration of time without going to our colleges, without going to our classes, without going to our research laboratories. Yes, disruption is there, but Let us keep the momentum of learning, momentum of embracing technology, momentum of getting into the minds of the students. Now we realize how much we love our students. Now we realize how much we miss our students. When students are around, they are creating ruckus in the campus. Sometimes we get angry. We just rebuke them. We curse them. But now the quietness in the campus. Nobody is there in a classroom. Nobody is there in a campus. No boys, no girls. There is no commotion in the corridor. So what is this? Yes, disruption has made us realize that yes, how much we loved our students and how much we are missing our students. And that means how valuable the students are for us and how technology can be used. Even all of us are using this Google Meet today. All of us are listening carefully with all these problems that we are facing, even though we are learning it, how to use it. So that is the momentum we are talking about. I'll be talking a little bit of more disturbing, not exactly disturbing, more involving things and then slides next. But then please understand that we must keep the momentum on. So we have been talking about blended mode. We have been talking about merging offline and online. But then I must tell you that blended mode of teaching in pedagogy is already there. Anybody is from education, if you are listening to me, probably you are master of talking about the blended mode. Even if the traditional way, even if the normal way, different pedagogies are being blended so that students can get the best out of our teaching, so that they can learn as much as possible from what we teach and from what we do not teach. But in the present context, even yesterday I was thinking, let me find out a better definition of blended teaching. Then whenever I search the internet, normally always we take help of the internet immediately to explore what is there in that, what people are thinking. The moment I search the blended teaching, they're always only talking about is tradition and technology, offline and digital platform, blending between offline and digital platform, tradition and technology. That is my addition to this. But then everybody else is talking about merging of offline and digital platforms together. So that is, let us take this definition as the definition when we talk about blended mode. We need to innovate. There is a huge possibility for creativity in this blended mode, huge possibility of innovation in this blended mode. Why I'm talking about creativity and innovation? Because when I received the letter from the principal of Surendascollege, he gave me a topic called innovating and experimenting new IT methods during post-COVID era. So I'll be talking about mostly post-COVID era, not during this COVID era. COVID era too, we have got so many things that we have learned, by force. We had to learn by force. But then beyond this, it will be our voluntary effort. It is our effort towards making the students learn the most. Let us try and find out what actually we can do. Teachers have been using technology. আপনি যদি কোনবা যদি কয় যে আমি কেতিয়াও আমি technology use করা নাই, none of us have ever used technology, we are mistaken. Each one of have been using technology. We've been using multimedia from so many years. Each one of you, I think, have been used multimedia, have been writing PowerPoint slides in your vernacular language. অসমীয়াত লিখিছো, আমি হিন্দীত লিখিছো, ইংরেজিত of course লিখিছো. We are putting in so many emojis, we have put in animations, we have put in so many different methods so that the students can be attracted towards our presentation. We have been using smart classroom. May not be all colleges, all classrooms are smart classroom. Even universities are not having smart classrooms. But smart classrooms are those classrooms where, in fact, in mathematics, in science, in accountancy, suppose double entry bookkeeping we do in a board, there would be a mechanism of the board which nowadays I think every college has got. I'm not very sure whether Nagaon Girls College or Surendascollege has got at least one classroom like this. if they do not have, you must have, it is not that costly. You must get at least one of such classrooms. Suppose double entry bookkeeping we are putting in, or a mathematical formula or mathematical problem we are solving, we are writing in a board. Normally when write the board and rub the board, everything is gone. But in that particular spatial board, when we write it, we can save our writing, and next class we can use it, or the students can be given these particular files to be taken back to their hostels, to their homes, and so that they can refer back to whatever we have discussed in that particular, whatever we have written in that particular board, so that they can remember actually what exactly was discussed in the class during that particular time. Another important addition, in fact, in our university also we are not using it, but universities that I have visited, they have been using it, especially the IITs, the older IITs, the reputed IITs, IIT Madras and IIT Chennai, that is IIT Delhi. And I have a good fortune of visiting, like many of you have visited foreign universities, good fortune of visiting some universities in Singapore. There I have seen that all the classes, smart classroom is there, the board writing is recorded, as well as the teacher's lecture is also recorded live. There is no editing done, the recording is done, and this recording is stored in a server, and the link to that server, that particular file is shared by to the students, the registered students, so that if they have got any problem in understanding, they want to go back to that particular class, they can go back to that particular moment they couldn't understand, repeat these things from their hostels, from their dorms, wherever they stay. But then these are the technology, traditional kind of technologies, those are being used, has been used in this world. Even Kolkata was talking about Harvard, Stanford, they have been using these technologies for a long period of time. In fact, they have been using some blended modes also, but we can say these are also kind of blended mode. But kind of blended mode I am going to propose for your consideration is a little different than what exactly is we have been using, or our contemporary teachers have been using all over the world. But whenever they have been using this multimedia, smart classroom, recorded classes, these were used when students are around, like a classroom full of students, full of eager eyes, hundreds of pairs of eyes are looking at the screen, looking at the teacher, listening eagerly. And a teacher can actually get instant, today at this moment I cannot see you. Had it been face to face, I could have saw you, I could have seen you, and I could have seen, oh, how many of you are getting bored, how many are getting still interested, how many of you are fiddling with your mobile phone. Now, in fact, neither I can do, nor you can actually watch your students, what is their feedback. If the feedback is negative, then as a teacher, we try to innovate newer things. We try to crack a joke so that the students can, we can have the attention of the students for again gaining their attention, and we do our business as usual. But then this use of technology was actually when, as I said, students are around. Our lecture is recorded live when I'm talking to the students live. But it is no longer the case at this moment. The new pedagogy that we are talking about, the students will not be with us. Amar lot student na thake. Students should be somewhere. Tahati ahibo ba nahe. All of student ahibo মোৰ ক্লাছত, all of student মোৰ ক্লাছত নাহে. কিয় নাহে? অলপ পাছত গম পাব. বা studente কি কৰিব? They will take part remotely also. মই আপোনালোকৰ ক্লাছ কৰি আছে, মই ক্লাছ কৰি আছো. Many of the students are there in remote places, far-flung area. Whenever there is a connectivity, people are taking part in my classes. Therefore, live class may not be always the solution. let me propose to you that do not always take live classes like what we are doing at this moment. So many of you are going out when the internet is actually letting them you know down. So what we are trying to do is that we are using digital methods, online live classes. There are two ways. Actually, let me tell you before we propose the other thing, online live classes like this what we are doing at this moment. The second one which I love the most is a pre-recorded classes. But both the classes must come with abundant reading materials. Without reading materials, our digital method is not going to be fruitful. Students are going to suffer because we cannot explain everything online, and there will be disruption every time. There will be so challenges, the challenges. There will be, there's so many students who do not have a quiet corner in their house where even if there is internet connection, even if they have got a laptop, even if they have got a good smartphone, even if they are not deprived of any data, but then they cannot have that quietness in a corner of their house because there'll be so much of noises around it because other people are busy, their family members are busy doing many things. You have probably seen yourself, heard yourself that a construction is going on in a nearby house and the students are giving his or her attention, trying to give the attention. ইমান চেষ্টা কৰি আছে শুনিবৰ কাৰণে শুনা নাপায়, কাষতে মেচিন চলি আছে ঘৰ 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 ঘৰ, they cannot listen to. So there are challenges of live classes, but or even pre-recorded classes. I'll talk about these challenges right now, but then both the kinds of challenges would be real challenge if we cannot give abundant reading material. Not necessarily reading material would also be digital material. No, it can be, you can recommend a beautiful book, the student will go and buy that book. The student will order in Amazon, order in Flipkart that particular book, or the government nowadays, Assam government can supply those books free of cost. Maybe, I'm not very sure about that. They'll catch hold of the book, they will refer to the digital articles, digital books that you actually give them. We call it open educational resources. You can have a long list of open educational resources, like the list of books that we write at the end of each of our syllabus, each of our paper, each of our courses. Now that we'll have to write our open educational resources for each and every topic that we teach to the students. That particular thing must start from today itself. If you are not doing it, if I am trying to do it, it's not very easy to do it. It's very difficult to find out which book is the best book because the students themselves are very good at finding out the best material regarding your topic. There are other challenges also. I'm going to talk about that a little later about this. There is the open digital library. That is IIT Kharagpur is there. I'm sure your university, your college library are also passing on information about the open journals, open articles, open books. Those are made available by different publishers. So these are the open digital materials which probably are out of copyright agreement, and you can actually let the students pass on these materials. Also, there would be abundant YouTube videos and write-up in the internet about that particular topic that you are actually trying to make the student understand. So these reading materials, this actually not reading materials, are digital materials are also there, like the YouTube links that you want them to listen to. For example, suppose I'm talking about warehouse and warehouse operations. There are various machines of warehouse operations, and students sitting in Tezpur, students sitting in Jagirot, students sitting in Hazo or in Nagaon may not see a full-fledged, technically equipped warehouse. So what I can do, I can refer to a particular video in the YouTube so that they can actually see how these different machines help in making things in a proper way in the warehouse. So this is just an example I am giving you. So these kind of things we must try and find out. For this we'll have to work hard. Our life is getting harder and harder, but if we love our students, if we make our students the best in the world, as Professor Kolta was telling, that there is a challenge for all of us, that we can make our international standing right now. If we think that our students are the best, nowhere lesser than the best, then we must give them the best of the best. And we are the people who are going to guide them to conquer the world. So let us go to the next slide. So live sessions has got two important aspects. When we are not ready due to emergency, like all of a sudden COVID came in, the students cannot come to the class, we'll have to finish our courses, we'll have to make the students ready for the examination. And when special attention is needed, they expect us, the students, or few of them are expecting us to explain a particular concept, to make them understand a particular mathematical equation. Yes, do not ever think that mathematical equation cannot be actually expressed or cannot be explained using even Google Classroom. We can use it. We call it Microsoft Whiteboard. You can probably many of you know it, and we can have a small tab like a writing pad. It's not very costly, 7,000 or 8,000 rupees. You can straight away write on that, and then this would be reflected in the whiteboard, and students can, like this, we can present to the students those things. So if this kind of spatial need is there, when we start our courses for a particular course for the first time, when we finish and sum up that particular course at the end of the day, when actually we are thinking that yes, we'll be talking about that in a little later also, we must meet them, let all of them come together in the digital platform. The live sessions are nothing like that. We can always have their live attention, and also we can see their feedback. If I stop presenting, I can always see all of you, and it is nothing like looking at the eyes of the students and explaining a particular thing. But pre-recorded sessions also have certain advantages. It is prepared for later and repeated streaming. Suppose you are preparing about a topic, price elasticity. Suppose economics, you are talking about price elasticity, or in in different. Suppose in mathematics, we are talking about imaginary numbers. So you prepare that particular lecture. And Teaching Learning Center, we have been conducting so many different programs. Even it is still there. And Surendascollege people, all of them have taken part in these multiple times in making them skilled in how to make this kind of presentation, how a pre-recorded session can be actually prepared the best possible way. And I'm sure it's not a very difficult task. Even people like me can do it, and any one of you can do it, I'm sure. That, as I said, a little bit better skill is required for teachers. We need to reskill ourselves in making video presentation, not only giving lectures like this, live lectures, but also we need to be presenting the things in a way that actually students love us. So I'm going a little slow, let me go a little faster. The benefits of live session, two-way communication, as I say, within the comfort zone, both teachers and students were good at doing this. And also we get instant feedback, we mentioned about it. Pre-recorded session, very good for last class. Suppose you are explaining a particular poem, like, I forgot the name of that Wordsworth poem. Suppose any kind of poem, Ohomia Kobita Hopare, Ingraji Kobita Hopare, suppose you are very good at explaining that particular thing, you are proud of that. So why don't you record it? Put up in the YouTube. Let every student listen to it. And then you use some music as well, background music as well. Make it most interesting thing. It is not that only your student will be able to see it. all over the world, all students will be able to watch your video, watch your recitation, maybe the explanation, and you become instant celebrity all over the world. Who knows? Who knows? Any one of us can become like this. There is no geographical limitation, as I say. Flexible timing, you can, the students can see wherever he or she get time after doing all these, classes, household chores, everything. Then easy to make class routine for the principals or the coordinators. It is very easy because the students don't have to be present live, and concept and theories can be exemplified by image and videos. So many copyright free videos are there in the internet. Creative Commons, probably you can get these videos and put these videos in between 1 or half a minute, 30 seconds or 10 seconds, 20 seconds clips inside your video. Then it makes the you know requirement so easy. Students will love your kind of video, and they will be watching it again and again and again. Then half of your job is done actually. So try to do this, and let us talk about a base blending, offline spatial. Now let us talk about blending. I'm going a little fast. I'm sure it's very difficult to follow me, but then I'll have to watch the watch also. It is taking away. So offline spatial classes should be there. Offline means in the traditional class, the students should come to the class. The very first class that we are talking about, in future, not today. When things would be easier, as I said, normal will be there. Normal should come back. Let all the students come to my class. The first class or second class will decide, and then we explain what we are actually going to do. And that should be face to face. We must know whom we are talking to. We must know each students by name, by their face. But we'll have to talk about streaming of recorded videos as much as possible. Maybe one offline class every week. So if there are 3 classes or 4 classes for my paper, 4 classes, out of 4 classes, 3 classes would be my recorded videos. One class they will come prepared watching the videos, and that will be flipped classroom. They'll come and they will be, I don't have to explain them everything. All my theories will be known by this time to the students. They will come and they will raise their doubts. They will raise their clarifications. They'll seek clarifications from you, and they will also come as collaborative offline session among themselves. Even probably all of us know, students among themselves can learn much better way than coming to learning from a teacher. So the groups they will be forming themselves. We can make their groups ourselves, or let them formal or informal groups they can create themselves. From those videos they will be learning things and discussing about, oh, eta onko kenake koribo lage, etu answer to kenake hobo, debit credit kenake koribo lage, ei problem to kenake solve koribo lagibo. So whatever we have discussed, they will be again by hand they will be in practice, they will be doing it in collaborative offline session. In fact, collaborative learning is not a new thing. It's been there throughout from so many years. Educationists have already using this, and they say that this is one of the best learning methodology used by the students. And all skill-based sessions would be offline. Suppose আজিকালি vocational course বিলাক আহিছে, for example, vocational course বিলাক আহোঁতে মই জাগিৰোড কলেজৰ এটা প্ৰগ্ৰেমৰ লগত জড়িত হৈ আছিলোঁ। তেতিয়া দেখা পাইছে তেওঁলোকে থিয়েটাৰৰ ইকুইপমেণ্ট বিলাক বনাবলৈ শিকায়। So থিয়েটাৰৰ ইকুইপমেণ্ট বিলাক বনাবলৈ hopefully the basic video would be recorded, but when actually they have to do in practice, they will come and do it themselves, and you as a teacher will show them. So it is any kind of skill-based sessions. Suppose communication skill, public speaking training here. So every college must have one mandatory course on public speaking. So that kind of thing should be offline only. They cannot be online courses. But then there should be no routine live online classes. Online classes can be requisitioned by a particular teacher whenever they want it. But college routine of online live class কেতিয়াও নাথাকিব, even if we go for blended learning in future. So these are the sudden thoughts that came to my mind, and I've been trying to use it in my class. When I started using it again, this came, second wave came. But next wave, if nothing happens, I'll try to use it. I urge all of you to use it. But then there are challenges. As we have been talking about digital divide, I don't have to repeat it. Huge challenge is there. Even if you want to do digital thing, n number of times digital divide is going to be there, and some students are going to be deprived. Some teachers also are having problems with digital divide. Skilling of teachers is a big issue. We'll have to learn. They are all teachers. All of us are not actually coming from us from inside. So sometimes the principals, some deans will have to actually, or the register or academic register, the head of the department will have to actually motivate them, force them to get skilled by getting trained up. Change of mindset should be there. Actually, the blended learning, we have been there, from our class, common পৰা আমি এনেকে ক্লাছ কৰিছো, আমি এতিয়া কেনেকে এনেকে ক্লাছ কৰিব পাৰিম, আমি as a teacher আমিও নোৱাৰিম, আমাৰ student বিলাকো they will not be able to do it. But then there is a huge challenge for all of us to change the mindset. And the infrastructure, as our registers uh, uh, was actually talking about, the huge problem for infrastructure. Infrastructure, even Professor Kulta is saying that Tezpur University has got good infrastructure. Actually, we are suffering from good infrastructure, because what kind of infrastructure is required, even we also do not know at this moment. Even if we know, we don't have enough fund to buy this immediately. So, and new evaluation mechanism, Professor Kolita was talking about this new evaluation mechanism. There would be changes. It cannot be like, open book, online, students will be there and they'll be writing. It cannot be like that only. But we'll have to find out some mechanism where students must be proctored. Whenever they write, somebody must monitor them. There are artificial intelligence nowadays. There are various softwares are available through which we can actually monitor the students during the examinations, whether they ইফাল কৰিছে নেকি, কিতাপ মেলিছে নেকি, যদি আমি ভাবো যে কিতাপ পেলাটো উচিত নহয়. So, but then still there are challenges. We'll have to overcome those challenges. It's not an easy task. So, examination must be therefore offline. There is no other way. Whatever examination, like Swayam to Muksor, কথাও অলপ আগতে ওলাইছিল, Muksor যিবিলাক পৰীক্ষা হয় সব offline পৰীক্ষা হয়, like NEET, JEE, এনেকুৱা নিচিনা offline পৰীক্ষা হয়, য'ত proctored হয়. So we'll have to overcome these challenges. We do not have this kind of infrastructure, of course, to have proctor's examination in different nooks and corners. And the external pressure from reputed universities would be there. Once it is open, yes, the world is our market. I'm sorry, Raisa sir, I've been using this market word. I'm a man of management. I'm sorry, but then once the entire world is our knowledge can be thrown to the entire world, and anybody from outside the world will also come to us. The student will choose the best one. Why they will choose Myanmar Karma? Why? I should be the best in the world. Why they will choose a particular teacher? If a course offered by a particular teacher, they will not choose as it is. It is because it is XYZ, because the teacher is so lovable, he smiles a lot, he talks a lot. No, these are fine. As a human being, I may be nice, but as a teacher, I may be very lousy. So they are not going to talk to me. They are not talk to me means they are not going to take my paper. So their external pressure would be there from reputed university. Where Surendascollege will stand, where Nagaon Girls College will stand, where Tezpur University will stand. That's a big question. If you talk about internalization of the entire education system, which we cannot stop it now, even if we do not like it, we have to open it up because of this. We tried to cover it up till the other day, but then pandemic has opened the door. একদম যুদ্ধৰ নিচিনাকে গুলি মাৰি দৌৰি আমি যে চিনেমা দেখাব দৰ্জা ভাঙি দিয়াৰ নিচিনা তেনেকুৱা ভাঙি আমাৰ শত্ৰু আহি পেলাই আমাৰ সোমাল বা আমিও ওলাই যাবলৈ চান্স পালো. Both way it can happen. Now this is the greatest challenge for all of us. But then we'll have to start somehow. Let us start with a small step. Let us begin a small video, prepare a small video. Take your laptop. Take out your laptop. Even if you do not have a laptop even today, please get one. That is going to give us our bread and butter only. Otherwise, only chalk and blackboard is not going to give us anything in future. Let us start with a small step, and I am sure soon it will be a part of our life. বিশেষ একো নকওঁ, আপোনাক খালি মই শুভেচ্ছা জনাইছোঁ। এইখিনি কথা কৈ মোৰ এই সামান্য জ্ঞান যিখিনি আছিল, যিখিনি কথা ভাবিছিলোঁ, সেইখিনি কথাই ক'লোঁ। মই এতিয়া আই এম ষ্টপ শ্বেয়াৰিং। আপোনালোকে যদি কিবা প্ৰশ্ন সুধিব লগা আছেও, এতিয়া যদি সময়ো নাই, মোক পাছত মেছেজো দিব পাৰে, বা এতিয়াও যদি আমাৰ অৰ্গেনাইজাৰৰ সময় দিয়ে, কিবা যদি প্ৰশ্ন আছে, মোক ক্ৰিটিচাইজ কৰিলেও মই বেয়া নাপাওঁ। ইট উইল বি গুড ফৰ অল অফ আছ অনলি। মোৰ মনৰ ভাৱে কৈছোঁ, দিছ ইজ নাথিং টু ডু উইথ any dictate from any UGC or MHRD or any university. All as a teacher, I am like a teacher like you only. All monorbhav kini koisu, and I think আপোনালোকে অনুধাৱন কৰিব পাৰিছে মোৰ ভাৱ। আৰু যদি অকণমানো মোৰ কথাখিনি আপোনালোকক অলপো উদ্বুদ্ধ কৰে, প্ৰভোগ কৰে, তেতিয়া মোৰ ইমান কষ্ট সাৰ্থক হ'ব বুলি ভাবিছোঁ। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you, Professor Sharma sir. We have come across a very interesting presentation from Sharma sir. He has rightly emphasized on blending of tradition with technology, and he has rightly pointed out that we must be technically a little bit upgraded so that we can cope up with the new challenges and situations. So I expect, I hope that all the participants are benefited from your suggestions, your ideas, and whatever you have shared with us, your thoughts. It will certainly benefit us. Now, this session is open for interaction. If any participant has any query, then I request him or her to unmute and raise the question.
In online mode, it is very difficult for students to speak. Students will hear participants. Nobody will be actually interested.
Hello, sir. Listening?
Hi, Humiyazu.
Sharma sir.
শুনিছো হয়।
Ayapur Hussain from Surendascollege. আপোনাৰ লেকচাৰটো আমি শুনি বহুত উপকৃত হৈছোঁ, খুব ভাল হৈছে। মই মাত্ৰ এটা সৰু ইনফৰমেশ্যন জানিব বিচাৰিছোঁ আপোনাৰ পৰা। আপুনি আপোনাৰ এই চেলেঞ্জেছৰ ভিতৰত আপুনি ক'লে নি এভেলুৱেশ্যন মেকানিজিম পৰীক্ষাটোৱে আৰু ক'ব বিচাৰ।
ইভালুৱেশ্যন মেকানিজিমৰ কথাই কৈছিলোঁ যে আমি ষ্টুডেণ্টৰ পৰীক্ষা কেনেকৈ পাতিম। That's a huge challenge. আমি মানে এতিয়া এটা এণ্ড টাৰ্ম পৰীক্ষা পাতিছোঁ, এটা মিড টাৰ্ম পৰীক্ষা পাতিছোঁ, তাতে সীমাবদ্ধ ৰাখিব নোৱাৰিম এতিয়া। আমি নিজে বহুত চেষ্টা কৰি আছোঁ, we are not being successful yet ইভালুৱেশ্যনত। গতিকে প্ৰব্লেম হৈছে এইটো যে আমি নিজে লাৰ্ণ কৰিব লাগিব কোনখন পেপাৰৰ কাৰণে কেনেকুৱা ইভালুৱেশ্যন মেকানিজিম বেষ্ট হ'ব। কেতিয়াবা অবজেক্টিভ টাইম কুৱেশ্যন ভাল হয়, কেতিয়াবা মই এইবাৰ ভাইভা লৈছোঁ, ষ্টুডেণ্টক পঢ়াই লৈ এটা এটাকে মাতি আনি অনলাইনত 1-to-1 ক্লাছ কৰি ভাইভা লৈছোঁ। মানে এনেকুৱা মোৰ ভয় হয় যে তাহাঁতি নকল কৰে নেকি। চ' ব্লেণ্ডেড মোডতো এইটো প্ৰশ্ন থাকিবই। গতিকে তাহাঁতৰ অফলাইন যদি আমি পৰীক্ষা পাতিব নোৱাৰোঁ বা যদি দূৰে দূৰে থাকে, তেতিয়া আমি কি কৰিম। ইটছ এ হিউজ চেলেঞ্জ। কলিতা ছাৰেও এইটো বুজি পাব, ৰেজিষ্টাৰ ছাৰেও আণ্ডাৰষ্টেণ্ড, এভৰিবডি উইল আণ্ডাৰষ্টেণ্ড দিছ হিউজ চেলেঞ্জ ইজ ইন ফ্ৰণ্ট অফ আছ। আৰু যদি আমি যদি ইভালুৱেশ্যনটো ঠিক কৰিব নোৱাৰোঁ, যদি মানুহে নকল কৰি পেলাই পৰীক্ষাত পাছ কৰি যায়, এতিয়াতো ওলাইছে কভিড, তুমি কভিড পৰীক্ষাৰ সময়ত মেট্ৰিক পাছ কৰা নেকি, কভিড পৰীক্ষাৰ সময়ত MA পাছ কৰা নেকি, কভিডৰ সময়ত PhD নেকি, এনেকুৱা কথাবিলাক এতিয়া ওলাব ধৰিছে। চ' আফটাৰ 5 years this is going to affect all of us, even our students. চ' সেইটো ডাঙৰ চেলেঞ্জ। আকবৰ চাহাব, মই ঠিকে ক'লো নে? আপোনাৰ কথাটো এনচাৰ দিব পাৰিছোঁ নে?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
ঠিক আছে, থেংক ইউ।
Professor Sharma, it's a big step. আৰু আপুনি ঠিকেই কৈছে মানে এইকেইটা আপুনি নিজেই কৈছে যে আমি চেষ্টা কৰি আছো যদিও এতিয়ালৈকে এটা আমি ৱে আউট উলিয়াব পৰা নাই আৰু মই ভাবো এইটো সময় লাগিব আৰু সকলোৱে একেলগে চেষ্টা কৰি নিজৰ কথাবোৰ ক'ব লাগিব আজি যেনেকে নিজৰ মনৰ কথা কওঁতে আপুনি কেতিয়াবা একদম নিজৰ কথা কৈছে যেটা আপোনাৰ নিজৰ ঠিক তেনেকে মই কথা কওঁতে হয়তো দুই এটা ভাৱ মোৰ নিজৰ কথা কৈছে আমাৰ প্ৰফেচাৰসকলেও যি আজি কথা শুনি আছে তেখেতসকলেও নিজৰ মনৰ কথা ক'ব লাগিব মই ডক্টৰ শৰ্মা বীৰেন্দ্ৰ শৰ্মাৰ লগত ধেমালি কৰি মই কেতিয়াবা কওঁ যে আপুনি ফিজিক্সৰ মানুহ বৰ একদম সেই পোহৰতে ষ্ট্ৰেইট লাইন গতি কৰাৰ দৰে একদম মানে প্ৰখৰভাৱে চিন্তাটো কৰে আৰু ভেৰি ইজি এতিয়া মই কেতিয়াবা ধেমালি কৰি মোৰ ৰিচাৰ্চ স্কলাৰকো কওঁ যে থিংকিং মাষ্ট বি ডমিনেণ্ট আমি কাম কৰোঁতে গৱেষণাই হওক টিচিঙেই হওক কলেজ এখন চলোৱাই হওক বা ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি চলোৱাই হওক মানে থিংকিং মাষ্ট বি ডমিনেণ্ট এই বস্তুটোলৈ যদি আমি দিব পাৰোঁ তেতিয়া ডাঙৰ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি বিলাকে ইনোভেট কৰে মই ভাবো এই ইনোভেশ্যনৰ পাৱাৰটো এই আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীৰ মাজলৈও আহি যাব আৰু তেতিয়া আমি আপোনাক বা আমাৰ ৰিচাৰ্চ পাৰ্চনক কেতিয়া লাগে আমি আচলতে তেওঁলোকক সাহস দিব পাৰোঁ মই সেইটোৱে অনুভৱ কৰিছোঁ যে ভাল বস্তু ওলাই আহিব কোনো চিন্তা নাই কিন্তু আমাৰ ৰিচাৰ্চ পাৰ্চন সকলে সময় দিব লাগে যেনে আজি ৰেজিষ্টাৰজনে ভেৰি বিজি মানুহ মই জানো আজি তাৰিখৰ ৰেজিষ্টাৰৰ
আচ্ছা আৰু এটা চ্যালেঞ্জৰ কথা মই বেছি দাদা মই কওঁনে
গতিকে এই যে ব্যস্ত মানুহখিনি সময় অলপ দিয়া হৈছে এনেকে যদি আমি অলপ টাইম দিওঁ আমাৰ মাজৰ পৰা বৰ ভাল ভাল কথা মনত আহিছে থেংক ইউ
মই প্ৰফেসৰ শৰ্মা আৰু আমাৰ যোগেন কলিতা আছে প্ৰফেসৰ যোগেন কলিতা আৰু ইয়াত যিহেতু বহুখিনি দায়িত্বশীল ব্যক্তি আছে মই এটা ৰেজিষ্টাৰ হিচাপে এটা কথা ক'ব খুজিছোঁ এম আই অডিবল
Yes, yes.
I'm basically more practical issue পৰা ক'ব খুজিছোঁ কথাটো এনেকুৱা যে আমাৰ যোগেন কলিতা ডাঙৰীয়া আৰু প্ৰফেসৰ শৰ্মাই যিখিনি কথা ক'লে সকলোখিনি কথাই সুন্দৰ কথা কৈছে গ্ৰহণযোগ্য কথা আৰু মই ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি স্পেচিয়েল এটা কথা কৈছিলোঁ যে COVID-19টো আমাৰ চিপাহী বিদ্ৰোহৰ সেই বন্দুকৰ গুলি মুখেৰে কামুৰি চিঙা নিচিনা এটা বস্তু হ'ল আমি আচলতে লেট প্ৰফেসৰ শৰ্মাই আৰু এটা সুন্দৰ কথা কৈছে যিটো মই মাজে মাজে ভাবোঁ যে আমি যিহেতু এটা প্লেটফৰ্মত আহিলোঁ এডুকেশ্যন চেক্টৰটো নাও it is not a college, not a university, it's a global platform. It's single platform. গতিকে competition from the reputed institutions. এটা ডাঙৰ আমাৰ কাৰণে সকলোৰে কাৰণে চ্যালেঞ্জ এই কাৰণে আজি যদি তেজপুৰ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি এটা পৰীক্ষা দেৰিকৈ পাতে Delhi University কৈ then there will be a question that what you are doing Delhi University is doing that. আমি যদি এটা পৰীক্ষা দেৰিকৈ পাৰো then there will be a question. কিন্তু আপুনি ভাল কৰিলে সেই বস্তুটো কোনো প্ৰশংসা নকৰে যিটো প্ৰেক্টিকেলি দেখা যায় সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত মই সকলোকে এটা আহ্বান কৰিব খুজিছোঁ যে আমি যিখিনি কাম কৰিব লাগিব কৰণীয়খিনি কৰিবই লাগিব there is no way out no backing out আমি ডিজিটেল মাধ্যমত যাবই লাগিব অনলাইন ক্লাছ কৰিবই লাগিব অনলাইন অফলাইন পৰীক্ষা ল'বই লাগিব study material বা content যেনেকৈ ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিবই লাগিব there is no question about that কিন্তু সকলোতকৈ ডাঙৰ মেচিনটো হ'ল the mind মই ভাবিছোঁ mind is the biggest machine আমি যদি মানুহৰ মানসিকতা চেঞ্জ কৰিব নোৱাৰো then nothing will materialize মোৰ হাতত মাউচটো থাকিলে মই মাউচটো যদি ভাল কামত ব্যৱহাৰ নকৰোঁ বা ব্যৱহাৰেই নকৰোঁ তেতিয়াহ'লে এইটো একো কাম নহ'ব সেই অৰ্থত মই সকলোকে এটা মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা অনুৰোধ জনাব খুজিছোঁ যে এই যিটো নতুন প্ৰক্ৰিয়া আমি এতিয়া হাতত ল'ব লৈছোঁ বা হাতত ল'ব লাগিব আৰু 5-10 বছৰলৈ হয়তো ক'ভিডৰ নিচিনা বা ক'ভিড থাকিব so that we can prepare the students to go digital মই নাভাবোঁ যে মানুহে বহুত সময়ত কিছুমান ইছ্যু আহে যে নেটৱৰ্ক ইছ্যু আহে বিভিন্ন কথা আহে কিন্তু এটা কথা অতি আচৰিত যে এটা চেনচেচনেল খবৰ যদি ওলায় য'ত TRP বাঢ়ে টিভি সেই খবৰটো কিন্তু একেবাৰে নেটৱৰ্ক নোপোৱা ঠাইৰ মানুহজনেও নিজৰ ফেচবুকত পায়। তেনেকুৱা এটা ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি যেতিয়া এটা টাফ চেলেঞ্জলৈ আহোঁ, পৰীক্ষা এটাত সময়ত পঢ়িব লাগে বা কিবা এটা ক্লাছ কৰিব লাগে, আমি কৰিব নোৱাৰাটো, এটেণ্ড কৰিব নোৱাৰাটো বহু সময়ত দেই, সদায় বুলি কৈ কোৱা নাই, বহু সময়ত কিন্তু এইটো ইচ্ছাকৃতও হয়। গতিকে মোৰ আহ্বানটো হ'ল যে লেট আছ ষ্টাৰ্ট এ মুভমেণ্ট। আমি এটা মুভমেণ্ট আৰম্ভ কৰিব লাগে। আমি এটা ষ্টুডেণ্টৰ মাইণ্ড, আমাৰ ষ্টেক হোল্ডাৰৰ মাইণ্ড, সকলোৰে মনটো আমি পৰিৱৰ্তন কৰিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰা উচিত। লেট আছ এডজাষ্ট আৱাৰছেল্ফ টু দ্য নিউ নৰ্মেল। আমি সকলোখিনি বস্তু সততাৰে গ্ৰহণ কৰা উচিত। এইটো মোৰ এটা আহ্বান, ঠিক ডিছকাশ্যন নহয়, মই আপোনালোকলৈ
নমিতাজ দৰ্শন বুলি তেখেতে কিবা এটা প্ৰশ্ন এটা উঠিছে, প্ৰশ্নটো মই বুজি পোৱা নাই। এই হেৰি চাট বক্সত লিখিছিল, তেখেত যদি আছে শুনি তেওঁ কথাটো সুধিব পাৰিব নেকি মোক?
কিবা ভিডিঅ' অন অফ কৰাৰ কথা কৈছে চাগে কিবা। মই চাইছোঁ চাট বক্সত।
লাষ্টৰটো একেবাৰে
নাই দেখিছোঁ, মই চাট বক্সত দেখিছোঁ, কিন্তু মোৰো একে আপোনাৰ দৰে কনফিউজন হৈ আছে কথাখিনি।
ঠিক আছে, তেখেত যদি নাই আৰু হ'ব, মই বুজি নাপালো প্ৰশ্নটো।
ছাৰ মই এটা কথা প্ৰশ্ন ঠিক নহয়, মই তিনিগৰাকী পেনেলিষ্টৰ সন্মুখলৈ আনিব বিচাৰিছোঁ, আৰু সেইটো আমি কেনেকৈ সেই সমস্যাখিনি সমাধান কৰিম অকণমান জানিব বিচাৰিছোঁ। কথাটো এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ, মই বিশ্বজিৎ কলিতা, হাজোৰ সুৰেন্দ্ৰনাথ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ IQAC এছিষ্টেণ্ট কোঅৰ্ডিনেটৰ। মোৰ কথাটো এনেকুৱা হ'ল যে আমাৰ সন্মুখত মানে টু ফ্ৰণ্ট ৱাৰ চলি আছে। এটা হ'ল COVID-19 পেণ্ডেমিক, যিটো আমি বুজি পাইছোঁ, আৰু এইটো আজি বুলি নহয়, হয়তো এইটো এটা পেণ্ডেমিকৰ পিছত হয়তো আকৌ ভগৱানে নকৰক আন হয়তো পেণ্ডেমিক আহিব আমাৰ সন্মুখলৈ, নহাটোৱে কামনা কৰিছোঁ যদিও। গতিকে এই চিষ্টেমটো, আমাৰ এডুকেশ্যন চিষ্টেমটো ডিছৰাপশ্যন হ'বলৈ গৈ আছে বা হ'ব ফিউচাৰলৈ, সেইটো এটা সমস্যাৰ আমি যুঁজি আছোঁ। দ্বিতীয় সমস্যাটো আমাৰ কাৰণে সৰু সৰু কলেজবিলাকৰ কাৰণে বা আমাৰ অসমৰ কলেজবিলাকৰ কাৰণে এতিয়াও আছে। সেইটো হ'ল কি, যিটো NEP 2020 ইমপ্লিমেণ্টেশ্যন হ'বলৈ গৈ আছে। NEP 2020 যিখিনি ভিজন এনভিছেজ কৰা হৈছে, সেইখিনি ইমপ্লিমেণ্টেশ্যন কৰাওতো এটা বহুত ডাঙৰ সমস্যা। গতিকে এই দুটা সমস্যাৰ লগত যুঁজি আমি কেনেকৈ একচুৱেলি আগবঢ়া উচিত হ'ব, আৰু বা পাৰিলে আমাৰ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি আৰু মহাবিদ্যালয়বিলাকৰ ক্ষেত্ৰতো খুব সুন্দৰ কোঅৰ্ডিনেশ্যন আছেই, যদি পাৰি কিবা প্লেটফৰ্ম এনেকুৱা কৰিব পাৰি নেকি যে অসমৰ সকলো কলেজ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি একেলগে লাগি একেলগে যুঁজি একেলগে ওলাই যোৱাৰ, তেনেকুৱা ক্ষেত্ৰত কিবা আপোনালোকে পৰামৰ্শ কিবা আগবঢ়াব নেকি ছাৰ? সেইটোৱে মোৰ কথা আছিল ছাৰ।
এইটো আমাৰ ৰেজিষ্টাৰে ক'ব পাৰিব নেকি?
মই যদি উইথ ইউৰ পাৰমিশ্যন মই অকণমান এই ক্ষেত্ৰত ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ যে NEP 2020 সম্পৰ্কত বিভিন্ন কমিটি হৈ আছে বা বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ চিন্তা চৰ্চা সকলোবিলাক অনুষ্ঠান প্ৰতিষ্ঠানত চলি আছে। কিছু অনুষ্ঠান প্ৰতিষ্ঠানে এইটো আৰম্ভ কৰিব খুজিছে। ঠিক তেনেকৈ গুৱাহাটী ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিও আমি বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ কমিটি কনষ্টিটিউট কৰিছোঁ। এই সম্পৰ্কত আমি যোৱা বছৰো গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট অফ আছামক এটা ৰিপৰ্ট দিছিলোঁ। কিন্তু সকলোতকৈ ডাঙৰ কথাটো হ'ল যে NEP 2020 is a policy, it is still a policy, but there is no executive order to go ahead. আজিলৈকে কিন্তু NEP 2020 লৈ আপোনালোকে এইটো ষ্ট্ৰেটেজি আগবাঢ়ি যাওক বুলি গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে বা চেন্ট্ৰেল গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে বা MHRD বা এডুকেশ্যন মিনিষ্ট্ৰীয়ে কাকো কোৱা নাই। 1 নম্বৰ কথা। 2 নম্বৰ কথা হ'ল, এটা এক্সাম্পল দিছোঁ যে কলেজবিলাকক কোৱা হৈছে যে 10-15 বছৰৰ ভিতৰত সকলোবিলাক ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিয়ে ডি-এফিলিয়েটিং ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি হ'ব। এফিলিয়েশ্যন কাৰো কলেজবিলাকে এফিলিয়েশ্যন ল'ব নালাগিব। ঠিক যিবিলাক এফিলিয়েটেড ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত কৈছোঁ, সেইটো কৈছে, কিন্তু কেনেকৈ কৰিব, হাউ টু ডু ইট, হোৱাট টু ডু ইট, এণ্ড ৱেন টু ডু ইট, এইটো কিন্তু NEP-য়ে বা UGC-য়েও আমাক কোৱা নাই। কিন্তু আমি সকলোৱে চিন্তা কৰি আছোঁ, সকলো ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি এই সম্পৰ্কে কাম কৰি আছে, চিন্তা কৰি আছে, কিন্তু কংক্ৰিট আনচাৰ এটা এই মুহূৰ্তত কাৰো হাতত নাই। আৰু যিমান দূৰ সম্ভৱ COVID-19 যোৱা বছৰ এই বছৰৰ কাৰণে কিছু বস্তু হয়তো গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে এই ক্ষেত্ৰত আগবঢ়াই নিব পৰা নাই যে মোৰ অনুমান হয়। কিন্তু চিন্তা চৰ্চা কৰিছে। কিন্তু এটা কথা ঠিক যে প্ৰেক্টিকেলি আজি যিটো কুৱেশ্যন আহিছে, ঠিক এনেকুৱাকৈ অহা কুৱেশ্যন এটাৰ কংক্ৰিট উত্তৰ এটা কোনেও দিব নোৱাৰে। দুখনমান কমিটিত মই আছিলোঁ গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট অফ আছামৰ এই সম্পৰ্কত, বা আমাৰ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিত মই আছোঁৱেই। কোনো ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিৰ এই ক্ষেত্ৰত কংক্ৰিট প্ৰপ'জেল মানে এক্সিকিউটেবল প্ৰপ'জেল কোনেও আগবঢ়াব পৰা নাই। সেইটো কাৰণে নিশ্চয় আমি অকণমান আৰু ৰ'ব লাগিব। কাৰণ যিয়ে নহওক গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ পৰা এটা গ্ৰীণ ছিগনেল আহিব লাগিব, কেনেকৈ আগবাঢ়িব লাগে সেই বিষয়টো তেওঁলোকে আমাক নিশ্চয় জনাব। হয়, মই জনাখিনি কৈছোঁ আৰু মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা।
ৰঞ্জিত বৰুৱা
আৰু কাৰোবাৰ যদি কিবা প্ৰশ্ন আছে আপোনালোকে সুধিব পাৰে। আমাৰ হাতত সময় কম, গতিকে সোনকালে আমি শেষ কৰিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিম। তথাপি কাৰোবাৰ যদি if anybody has any query, then you can make it. Nice idea. So we are going towards the last part of the webinar. Now I request Dr. Bima Bujarbhai to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Burwa. Good afternoon, respected principals of Surendascollege and Nagaon Branch College, Honorable Registrar of Guwahati University, Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath sir, respected resource persons of today's webinar, Professor Dr. Yugen Chandra Kolita sir, and Professor Dr. Mrinmal Kumar Sharma sir, esteemed colleagues and participant friends. I feel it to be a privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of the two organizing colleges, that is, Surendascollege and Nagaon Girls College, and also on my own behalf, take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. At the very outset, I thank the principals of the two organizing colleges, Dr. Surendra Kumar Sharma of Surendascollege and Dr. Bolin Kumar Bhuya of Nagaon Girls College for their initiative to organize the webinar and also for selecting a topic for the webinar which is very significant and of current relevance. I also thank Dr. Sharma sir and Dr. Bhuya sir for their inspiring speeches. I express my gratitude to Honorable Registrar of Guwahati University, Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath sir, who despite his busy schedule has made it convenient to grace this occasion and has inaugurated the webinar with his valuable speech and has focused on some ground realities of the current situation. I thank you, sir, for your presence. I would like to express our sincere thanks to the distinguished resource persons of today's webinar, Professor Dr. Yugen Chandra Kolita sir and Professor Dr. Mrinmal Kumar Sharma sir, for making excellent presentations on two very important topics. Professor Kolita sir has focused on the challenges and how we can overcome those, and has said that all of us have to be responsible and work together, as we know that united we stand. And Professor Sharma sir has delivered his speech on balancing the two T's, that is tradition and technology, the only way forward. I thank both Professor Kolita sir and Professor Sharma sir for their interesting and thought-provoking addresses, and also for clearing our concepts and enhancing our understanding pertaining to the topics. I like to offer my thanks to the teaching and non-teaching staff of both Surendascollege and Nagaon Girls College for their unflinching support and cooperation. We are really grateful to our participants for their lively and active participation in the webinar, and without their cooperation, it would not have been possible for us to make the webinar a successful one. I also thank Mr. Ranjit Bora, the IPSC coordinator of Nagaon Girls College, for smoothly conducting the webinar as moderator. I feel that we should not forget the persons who have been working from behind the curtain. And yes, I mean the technical experts. From beginning to the end, right from the preparation of the flyer to the registration, controlling and operating the Google Meet and issuance of certificates, they have been strenuously working for the success of the webinar. And I take this opportunity to offer my special thanks to Mr. Aniruddha Medhi of Department of English and our office assistants, Mr. Kishore Kumar Das and Mr. Nayan Basho for their cooperation. At last, I once again thank you all for making the webinar a grand success. Thank you.
So thank you,
Thank you, Madhu.
Uh,
Sir,
thanks, thanks, Professor Minmay Sharma, Professor Jogan Kulitya sir, and Dr. Hemanta Kumar Nath. আপোনালোক তিনিজনে অত্যন্ত ব্যস্ততাত আছে আমি জানো। বিশেষকৈ আমাৰ ডক্টৰ হেমন্ত কুমাৰ নাথ, ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰাৰ পঞ্জীয়ক মহোদয়, তেখেত আমাৰ যিটো অপেন টেক্সটবুক এক্সাম, এই এক্সামৰ যোৱাকালি এখন আমাৰ কমিটিৰ মাজত এখন গুগল মিট তেওঁ কোঅৰ্ডিনেট কৰিছিলে, আৰু আজি 7টা বজাত য'ত আমাৰ অনাৰেবল ভাইচ চেঞ্চেলৰ ছাৰ কণ্ট্ৰলাৰ মহোদয় থাকিব, আৰু আমাৰ গুৱাহাটী বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ অধীনৰ আটাইকেইখন এফিলিয়েটেড মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ অধ্যক্ষক লৈ এখন তেখেতে মিটিং আজি আহ্বান কৰিছে। তেখেতে তাৰ মাজতে সেইবিলাক কামো কৰি আছে। গতিকে ইমান ব্যস্ততাৰ মাজতো অতি সুন্দৰ সাৰুৱা ভাষণেৰে তেওঁ যিটো আজি ইনগ্ৰেল ছেশ্যন দিলে, আৰু প্ৰফেচৰ যোগেন কলিতা ছাৰে একেলগে 2খন কলেজত আজি অনলাইন ৱেবিনাৰ কৰি আছে। ছাৰ সদায় ব্যস্ততা থাকে, আৰু সদায় ব্যস্ততাৰ মাজতে সদায় নতুন নতুন কথা আমাক আভাস দিয়ে বা আমি জানিব পাৰোঁ। আৰু প্ৰফেচৰ মিন্ময় শৰ্মাই মই জনাত তেখেত পৰীক্ষাৰ লগতো ব্যস্ত আছে। গোটেই ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিৰ একাডেমিক কথা তেওঁ চাই আছে। আটাইকেইজন ব্যক্তিয়ে ইমান ব্যস্ততাৰ মাজতো আমাৰ সমাজ ব্যক্তি তিনিজনে আমাক আজি ইমান সময় দিলে। 2 ঘণ্টা হৈ গ'ল, প্ৰায় আঢ়ৈ ঘণ্টাই হ'ল। আৰু আমাৰ দুইখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰে আমাৰ বিশেষকৈ ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞা ডাঙৰীয়া, তেখেতৰ টীম, আৰু আমাৰ হাজো সুৰেন দাস মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ উপাধ্যক্ষ বা IQAC কোঅৰ্ডিনেটৰ সমন্বিত আটাইকে, আৰু লগতে আমাৰ মাজত উপস্থিত থকা বিভিন্ন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ অধ্যাপক অধ্যাপিকাসকলকো আমি আন্তৰিক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছোঁ, কৃতজ্ঞতা জনাইছোঁ। আমাৰ আহ্বানৰ প্ৰতি সঁহাৰি ৰাখি তেখেতসকলে আজি ইমানখিনি সময় আমাৰ মাজত আছে। আৰু আমি ইতিমধ্যে আমাৰ ডক্টৰ ৰিজিমা বুজুৰ্গই জনাইছে যে আমাৰ যিটো টেকনিকেল ষ্টাফ আমাৰ হাজো সুৰেন দাস মহাবিদ্যালয়ত, বিশেষকৈ অনিৰুদ্ধ মেধিয়ে, তেখেতে অলপ পিছত হয়তো আপোনালোকক ফিডবেকৰ লিংকটো দিব, আৰু সেই ফিডবেকৰ লিংকটো আপোনালোকে ফিল আপ কৰিলে চাৰ্টিফিকেট আপোনালোকৰ জেনেৰেট হ'ব, আৰু কাইণ্ডলি আপোনালোকে সেইখিনি ফ'ল' কৰিব। আৰু তেওঁ গোটেই দিনটো আজি বা আগৰ পৰাই ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন সম্বন্ধিত আটাইখিনি কাম তেওঁ অতি সুন্দৰভাৱে কৰি আছে। তাৰ লগতে আমাৰ যিখিনি টেকনিকেল ষ্টাফ আছে, শংকেশ্বৰ দাস হওক, নয়নজ্যোতি বৈশ্য, তেওঁলোকলৈ আমি আন্তৰিক কৃতজ্ঞতা জনাইছোঁ। আৰু শেষত মই আমাৰ আনখন মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ অধ্যক্ষ ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞাকো তেখেতৰ সামৰণি দুআষাৰ ক'বলৈ মই অনুৰোধ ৰাখিছোঁ। ডক্টৰ বলিন ভূঞা, আপুনি শুনি আছেনে?
মই শুনি আছোঁ।
হয়, আপুনি
মই
সামৰণি
এইখিনিতে
দুআষাৰ কওক।
মই নগাঁও ছোৱালী কলেজৰ হৈ সকলোকে আজি উন্নয়নৰ কাৰণে ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ। বিশেষকৈ আটাইকেইজন ৰিচোৰ্চ পাৰ্চন, আমাৰ ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰাৰ ছাৰ, সকলোকে আমাৰ আজিৰ এই ব্যস্ততাৰ মাজত তেওঁলোকে ইয়াত থকাৰ কাৰণে মই ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ। লগতে মই সুৰেন্দ্ৰাছ কলেজ হাজোৰ কলেজ পৰিয়ালৰ সকলোকে মই ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ। আৰু আজি বিশেষকৈ সুৰেন্দ্ৰাছ কলেজৰ বেছিকৈ ইনিচিয়েশ্যন আছিলে গোটেই কামটো কৰাৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত, তেওঁৱে আগভাগ লৈছিলে। সেইকাৰণে মই তেখেতক আজি ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ। আমি আগলৈও এনেধৰণৰ কাম কৰিম। আমি একেলগে থাকি 2 এটা কাম কৰাৰ প্ৰতিশ্ৰুতি দিলোঁ। আশা কৰিছোঁ এনেধৰণৰ এই ক'ভিড পৰিস্থিতি সোনকালে নিৰাময় হওক, আৰু সকলোলৈকে মই শুভেচ্ছা জনাই মোৰ ক'বলগীয়া সামৰিছোঁ। ধন্যবাদ।
যদি আমাৰ বাকী ক'ব লগা নাই, তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি হয়তো সভা শেষ কৰিব খুজিব, ভংগ কৰিব পৰা হৈছোঁ চাগে। ৰঞ্জিত বৰুৱা,
হয়, sir.
আপুনি হয় হয় আপুনি চামৰি কৈ দিয়ক।
So we have already completed our discussion. Our resource persons have also deliberated in a very interesting manner. There is a lively discussion. Different things have been shared among us, and we are hopeful that all the participants are benefited. We are all encouraged to move forward, and we are going to adopt new techniques and methods, as Professor Somasar has identified that we cannot continue with traditional method only. We have to move forward, and we are certainly will be trying to do these things in future. Thank you, everyone. With this, we declare that the session is over. Thank you, everyone, once again.
নমস্কাৰ।
Namaskar.